What is going on? Twitch.tv/ADRIVE. It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I'm bringing you guys the top cut of our Elestrals webcam tournament today. It is time to throw down. I'm very excited to be here, and I hope you guys are excited. We've got some incredible competitors that have fought their way over the last few hours to get to the top cut of this webcam tournament, a best of 3, including our previous winner, of course, JacKyomu, making their return, looking to defend their crown. DistantCoder, the very popular Yu-Gi-Oh! Content creator. And we've got a handful of others: Win the Scent, Titan, Aspira, SpicySausage, Atreus Fire, and Mario Gaming, another content creator that many know and love. I appreciate all your subscriptions. Helen with 103, Marvin 92, Words 92 as well, geez. Door 28, and Pixie, thanks for 55. We're gonna see some epic showdown, some epic clashes today, and we're not gonna waste a ton of time. We're gonna dive right in here momentarily. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, diving into this clash right now. DistantCoder and JacKyomu throwing down in the Elestrals webcam tournament, ladies and gentlemen. This is looking to be a doozy. I'm quite excited for this one. Both these two have worked their way through making it happen. So it looks like Coder's gonna kick things off with Demeter and an Elechick. So the Elechick is going to search out the Demeter, and that's going to get him going. That's going to allow him to grab that Demeter. He's going to set one back row, 2 back row here with his Elestriad playmat, and 3 back row. He's ready to go. Let's get this music rocking here. JacKyomu looks like they're ready to rock as well, and we're making it happen. This is going to be a lot of fun today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited for this one. Very, very excited for this one. Elechick hits the field, searches out that Divine, and a pretty, you know, emphatic turn there to get things kicked off as these two casters are rocking out. Now, JacKyomu won the last event with a Thunder Nexus deck, and we're going to see a Thunder Spirit hit the field for Jack. That is going to be his Astrabit. Astrabit allows him to look at the top 3 cards of his deck and pull one. Coder's looking at his counter runes. Looks like he's going to play a Poison Tipped Arrow here right away. Poison Tipped Arrow is going to play effect. That's going to allow him to clear the Astrabit in the end phase, if he so desires. And that'll obviously cost him an extra spirit to do so. But definitely a commanding position here, as if you get rid of that Astrabit very easily, it's just going to kind of open that window. Now, Jack, I'm sure, has plenty of counter rune options to get out here to kind of slow down whatever offensive onslaught he's got. He's going to at least set 1. He's going to set 2. He's going to set a 3rd. Does he go full back row 4 here? I think that's probably going to be that, and I would assume DistantCoder is going to pick up that Poison Tipped Arrow and chip away, and that is exactly what's going to happen. He's going to chip away and take out that Astrabit. So he's down 3 spirits, but a really good spot here for DistantCoder, because now you're going to force those face-down runes to be used here. Let's see. We're going to see an Earth Spirit into a Vysceris. So Vysceris doesn't have the open window to attack and destroy something, but it has the open window to hit directly into the Spirit deck, and we see some more runes face down. It looks like Coder has emptied his hand at this point. 2 attackers. He's going to hit with the Elechick, and it looks like Jack is going to take the Elechick here, and I'm going to assume he's going to take the Vysceris as well. A lot of times in competitive Elestrals, it makes sense to kind of hold some of your counter runes, and he does take both hits, because there's no advantage that Jack is gaining by utilizing his counter runes right now, right? Without any Elestrals on the field, it's very difficult for him to really gain any momentum. So kind of smart, sit back. We know Coder's got his Demeter face down now, but you kind of sit back. If you have a Tsunami, you're going to save it. Looks like Jack is going to toss down a Thunder Spirit into a Resting on Your Laurels. That's going to allow him to clear the Vysceris right now. When you play Resting on Your Laurels, you do so in the situation where the opponent has at least 2 or more Enchanting Spirits on the field than you do. Coder has 2, Jack has none. So he's able to clear that, and you get to choose the caster of the Laurels. So looks like he's going to get that Laurels out there, and I think he expended to draw, if I'm not mistaken. That was what I thought he did. So I'm pretty sure he expended to draw, and we're going to see a play here from DistantCoder. It looks like it's his turn. Looks like he picked up a draw there as well. And let's see what we got here. He's considering his options. We're going to see just a hit for 1 with the Elechick. No cast from either player. I think Coder might have expended to draw as well. So trying to keep up here as these 2 casters are vying for the optimal position for the mid game of Elestrals. And if you've never seen Elestrals before, you know that every single clash, every time you use a card, you're essentially getting closer and closer to losing. So making sure you optimize the time in which you cast various runes and Elestrals is so crucial. Here comes another Astrabit for JacKyomu. Does DistantCoder have another poison-tipped arrow? He does! Another poison-tipped arrow from DistantCoder. The opportune time to use it, of course, being able to hit that Astrabit and keep it from being the defensive presence that Jack is looking for. Now, Jack is still getting the card advances that he wants here, right? He's still able to look. He's still able to pull something from the top of his deck, but he's not going to be able to keep that presence of the Astrabit, and it's going to force him to have to use that back row. And if you're DistantCoder, we've seen he's got, you know, quite a few different things. He's got the Demeter. He's probably fishing for an Equilynx at this point, and I think if DistantCoder can get an Equilynx onto the field with a Demeter, he's going to put himself in a very powerful position because he's going to be able to start to get rid of some of those counter runes and force Jack to play a Gorgon's Gaze or something to stop it. And that's where you're at. If you're DistantCoder, now is the time for you to just kind of try to exert a little bit more pressure. You had that Vysceris out early. It got Laurels. Now is your chance to try to get out your Equilynx if you can. But JacKyomu is thinking. He's got his Rabbit. You can opt to use the Spirit on the Rabbit. Like if he had a Nectar of the Gods, he could burn his Spirit on his Rabbit because it's going to die anyway. But generally, that's suboptimal in this situation just because you might as well force your opponent to use another Spirit to do what he wants to do, and that's exactly what's going to happen. End phase enters. Poison-tipped arrow is going to chip him down, and now DistantCoder at 14 Spirits, Jack at 13. Coder's looking for an Elestral. Here comes an Earth Spirit. Is it going to be that Equilynx? It is going to be the Equilynx. That's that Artist Collection Equilynx hitting the field. This is a huge play for DistantCoder, and we see no response out of JacKyomu, which means no Poison-tipped arrow. Gorgon's Gaze still a threat. Here comes Full Art Demeter. He's going to load this thing up, right? So we're going to see him go up to 3. And I think if I got my spirits right, we're down to 10 spirits for DistantCoder. He has an opportunity to Nexus here with his Demeter. He can now target and destroy runes with this Equilynx. Let's see what he's going to do here. I'm assuming he's going to activate a Nexus and try to pop one of those back row. What is he going to end up popping? It's almost guaranteed at this point. He's actually going to pass to the Eleshek. I like that play. Almost guaranteed at this point that Jack is going to have a Tsunami or a Gorgons or something. So let's see what he's going to target down. It looks like that Nexus is going to go through. We haven't seen a Gorgon's Gaze yet. Generally, you're waiting to see what that target is going to be. He's considering his options here, it seems. This is a big play in this clash right now. And it looks like he is going to pop the Gorgon's Gaze, and Jack opts to actually not cast the Gorgon's Gaze, it seems. And now Equilynx is going to attack, and there's the Tsunami. So if you're JacKyomu, the ideal world is that the Equilynx hits the Tsunami, so you kind of lose nothing there. He loses his Gorgons, but he says, you know what, I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to use my Tsunami. Jack has a pretty healthy hand still, and now he's got 2 Elestrals in defense position. But if you're JacKyomu, you have to get rid of that Equilynx, and you have to do it now. The only downside, I would say, to Coder putting the Spirit on an Eleshek is that resting on your Laurels gets rid of Equilynx now. That's just one thing to consider, because resting forces you to go for the least enchanted Elestral. And now Eleshek has 2 spirits on it, but it does give some more flexibility later, and it makes the Equilynx, you know, kind of a less of a target in the sense because it has less weight to it with the spirit. So Jack gonna go for the Helios Chariot Ride. That is gonna put a damper on any plans that DistantCoder might have, and this is the comeback play right here for JacKyomu. DistantCoder is not gonna be able to activate any counter runes during this turn. Helios Chariot Ride says you have to play it in the draw phase. You gotta do it right after your draw, and then no runes on your opponent's end can be played. So he is protected from those 2 face down runes. And if you're JacKyomu, you're looking to activate a Vysceris right now. You're looking to get your Vysceris to the field because you can essentially flip this board real quick with a Vysceris. That's what we're looking to see if he's gonna have or not. And again, DistantCoder has no response here. There's nothing you can do. Jack's field is empty, but he's 1 play away from turning this one around. Looks like they might be doing some spirit checks. My spirits have him at 10-10 each. Here comes a Thunder Spirit, and it's gonna be a Spark It, baby! Spark It coming out. Looking like it's going to put in some work. Does he have a Zeus to pair with it? He's got a couple Thunder Spirits and a Zeus, so he's going to have an opportunity to look at the hand of DistantCoder. We see a single Nexus here. I believe Zeus still has 2 under it, so I'm trying to keep track of the spirits as I can. Double Earthquake, that is not what you want to see if you're JacKyomu, because double Earthquake just puts you in a terrible spot at the end of this clash. It's going to put you in a terrible spot because now you're forcing him. You're going to have to get rid of 1 Earthquake, but then the other one just pops your Spark It. So if you're DistantCoder, you're feeling really good right now. JacKyomu's got to be really frustrated about that. You go all in on this play with your Helios. You get your Spark It out. You're going to clear something, probably the Equilynx, I would assume, to protect your Zeus. But then your Spark It's just sitting out there, ready to get EQ'd. And then there's an Elechick that's sitting there, and it's going to hit you for 2 or 3. So if Jack doesn't have the back row, he's going to be in bad shape. But he's got an EQ! He's got an EQ of his own. Earthquake's going to come out. It's going to take out the Elechick. And now Spark It is free to take out the Equilynx. And he's got 2 back row. Jack is not out of this one yet. I have him at 4 spirits. I may be slightly off my count. I'm doing the best I can here. DistantCoder has a lot more spirits and an Earthquake. So we're expecting an Earthquake to hit the field right away. Sometimes you'll cast something first to try to bait out a move, you know, like a Gorgons or something. But I think in this case, your best play is you just go for the EQ now, get those spirits off the field, and, you know, render JacKyomu's options a little less, right? You kind of reduce some of those options. We're gonna see an expend to draw here out of Coder. It tells me obviously he didn't have any Elestrals in hand, and there is the Earthquake, of course. That's gonna quake the ground and shake things up. Take out that Spark It and the 2 spirits that went alongside it. But JacKyomu has a chance to get right back in this, right? He's got 2 face down runes. He only has 4 spirits left. He's gonna throw something down. It's gonna be a Toxion. Toxion only costs 1 spirit to cast, a 4 attacker, and now Coder is gonna take a spirit as well. Due to Toxion's effect, this is an opportune time to maybe you could potentially cast a Gorgon's Gaze if you wanted to, although you're not really gaining a whole lot. You're essentially breaking even there. So the Toxion is going to hit, and it's going to hit directly. Does he have an answer for it? I think he's going to just take the hit, I would assume. At this stage of the game, you probably just take the hit. Let's see here. Seems to be some deliberating. They're checking 3 spirits. Coder I have at 6. I think he's going to be down to 5 after this hit. It looks like he is indeed taking the hit. He's going to be down to 5 spirits, if I'm not mistaken. Coder's going to draw for his turn. He's going to need an Elestral to get back in this. An Equilynx would be nice. A Foley Forest with that would be even nicer. Vysceris probably seals the deal. Jack only 3 spirits, but don't forget he has a couple spirits on field he can use. Counter runes can utilize those spirits on the field. We're going to see 2 spirits come down for another Earthquake, and it only costs him 1 from his spirit deck because he pulled off of his Demeter. As I was just about to say, Invoke and counter runes can be used from spirits on field. He's going to pop another Earthquake, his 3rd of the clash. 1 got picked out of his hand, so he's got to be feeling pretty good. I'm seeing 3 spirits maybe for Coder. I might be 1 spirit off here. I'm thinking he only has 3. Let's see here, but he is going to cast a spirit to the field, and it's going to be an Astrabbit into attack position. That's going to give him an opportunity to look at the top 3 cards of his deck and add 1 to hand. Does Jack have any sort of answers? He looks like he does have an answer. It's going to be the Poison-Tipped Arrow. Poison-Tipped Arrow pulling off of Zeus. That's going to drop Astrabbit's attack down to 0, which means that Astrabbit actually cannot hit directly now, unless DistantCoder utilizes Demeter's spirit to buff the Astrabbit and allow it to hit directly. That would be a big brain play. I would love to see that, but Coder might have different plans for that Demeter based on what he looks at from the top of his deck. When he sees those cards at the top of a deck, something like an Equilynx could be a game changer, like I said, and you might need that Demeter, or a Tectorus may need that Demeter in the following turn if you get that far. But this is an opportunity to force Jack down even further, right? Because he's going to have to expend 1 for PTA to get rid of the Astrabbit, and you might be able to hit him for 1 more here. So this is very, very close. It seems as though we are going to see the PTA expend. We do not see the play from the Demeter. So I think it is either 2-2 or 3-2 right now. We've got ourselves a very close game, a very close clash. This one's going to come down to the wire. A Toxion would be huge. He's actually got a Misenchanted Elechick with a Water Spirit that's going to be able to dodge any sort of tsunamis that you might see here from Coder. And Coder is looking to see if he has any back row. Nothing really that would be useful here. I think you're just taking the hit if you're Coder. You probably don't have an answer for this, especially if you don't, you know, Tsunami's not going to help you. So let's see here. He's got a couple spirits. Looks like he's just going to take the hit. Does he have an answer? This is very close. This is a very, very close one here. He's thinking about it. He is going to shield it back using a spirit from the Demeter. That's why he saved it. He's down to, I think, just 1 spirit left. Both casters down to 1 spirit, if I'm not mistaken. Shield's going to bounce the Elechick back to hand. And it's going to come down to, does Coder have the ability to get an Elestral onto the field and to attack Jack directly? And at that point, it wouldn't be over because there's still an opportunity for Jack to play an Ambrosia or something like that off of his Zeus to stay in this clash. So let's see here. Does DistantCoder have the answer? It seems very simple. If you have an Elestral, you're playing it right now. He's got a Water Spirit. He's got an Equilynx. That's a stellar Equilynx, if I'm not mistaken, down to 0 spirits. He's going to hit JacKyomu. Does Jack have an answer here? He has a Shield of Achilles. We're going to go to deck out, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to deck out, ladies and gentlemen. We have a 0-0, and we are going to deck out. At this point in the clash, both casters are out of their spirits, and they are going to count how many cards are left in their deck. Let's listen in.
I have 25.
I also have 25.
And you're the next to draw, so you would lose.
Yeah. Correct.
All right.
And DistantCoder takes it. JacKyomu has 25 cards left in his deck. DistantCoder also has 25 cards left in his deck, but it's JacKyomu's turn coming up next, so he will be the one to draw first, and thus he would lose first in a deck out scenario. You cannot ask for a closer clash to kick off this top cut here. Two of the best casters in the world throwing down. JacKyomu won the last event. DistantCoder's been dominating the Elestriad. DistantCoder takes this one 1-0 over JacKyomu, and he goes into the second round of the best of 3. That was a crazy, crazy clash here. Wow. That was nuts. Bro, y'all really brought it on the first game. Jeez.
Yeah. Bro, crazy, right?
I mean, you can't ask for anything closer than that.
Yeah, literally. We had the same number of cards in deck too, but he was drawing next, so he loses.
Yeah, dude.
Insane.
Oh my gosh.
Insane.
So at this point in a best of 3 event, side decks come into play. And in Elestrals, you're allowed to have a 12-card side deck. Those 12 cards can actually consist of spirits and Elestrals, which is pretty cool. So in this case, if you're someone like DistantCoder, you might say, you know what, I noticed a couple things about this clash. It makes a lot of sense for me to side deck in, you know, something that could stop some of the stuff that Jack's doing, right? So a lot of times when you see side decks in Elestrals right now, people are side decking things like Pandora's Box to deal with wind. They're side decking things like Veritaqua to deal with water and tsunami. You're side decking things like, you know, maybe a Helios Chariot Ride for counter rune heavy decks, or maybe you're gonna run, you know, things like that. Maybe you're siding in some Five Guys stuff. So with the 2 decks these two are running, I'm not necessarily anticipating a ton of side deck stuff. But it is important to note that you need to unside deck before your next best of 3. But we're at the point in the tournament now where whoever wins this one is advancing to the semifinals, and whoever loses one is going home for the day. So this is a huge, huge class. I mean, guys, you cannot ask for a better start to this tournament than what we just saw. That was, well, at least to the top 8. That was actually insane. All right, so these 2 casters kicking this one off with mulligans. In Elestrals, you are able to mulligan your first hand. That gives you an opportunity. Well, you can actually mulligan as many times as you want, really. But when you mulligan, basically, the way it works is you expend 2 spirits from your spirit deck. Then you return your hand back to your deck. You draw, you shuffle, you draw a new hand. So both these casters are going through that process right now of drawing a new hand after expending 2 spirits. I think as Elestrals continues to develop and you see more sets coming out, more cards into the card pool, more combo-oriented strategies, I think expending at the beginning of a game is going to be a more useful strategy. I can tell you I've been testing a deck as we're testing future sets right now, and like it's one of those things where like if you don't get your 1 or 2 combo pieces you need on turn 1, like you have to expend, otherwise you're basically flopping around like a fish out of water. So it's a really cool mechanic that I'm glad we added, and that was another piece of kind of community feedback. Like there was a point in time when Elestrals didn't have a mulligan feature. But you can mulligan as many times as you want in a turn, or to start the game. So if you get a bad hand, you can mulligan, and then you can do it again. But obviously, the downside is that it costs you 2 spirits. We're going to see Jack kick off this clash with 2 back row and a Toxion. Toxion's going to hit 1 for Coder and give him a 4 body on the field, 4 attack on Toxion. Not able to attack on turn 1. And now DistantCoder is going to draw, and let's see what he's got up his sleeve. Looking to execute some Earth combos here. Vysceris would be a good play here. Equilynx with Demeter could pop some runes. Opportunities for him to do a lot of different things. It might be an Astravit to kick this one off. That's exactly it. Stellar Astravit hits the field. That's going to cost him 1 spirit to play. Doesn't seem as though Jack has any sort of response. And generally, this isn't the kind of thing that you would want to respond to unless you have a poison-tipped arrows. We saw a few times in that first round. Coder is going to grab one of the top 3 cards of his deck, and he's going to press onward with his turn. A 5 defensive body. Very difficult for Jack to deal with. He's going to have to utilize something like a Zeus to be able to hit over it. Oftentimes, his deck doesn't really run a lot of like high attackers. So that 5 defense Astravit, so crucial. And many, myself included, consider Astravit to probably be the best card in the game right now. And I have a feeling that that's going to stay the case for a while. Astravit is a very, very good card. So I'm super excited about it. And I think that this is a great turn for Coder. But let's see what we got here. It looks like he's got 4 back row. That's something else. Need that heavy storm. We're going to see an Ascension. No, we're going to see him actually enchant the Toxeon. So he's going to re-enchant Toxeon rather than casting into Elestral. He opts to re-enchant his Toxeon. Now that does a few different things. That's going to burn DistantCoder for a spirit as well. Force him to take 1 here. And let's see here. I think, did I miscount? He was 18, 17, 16, 15. He should be 15 now, yeah. And Jack is 16 because he was 18. Yep, okay, so I think we're good. So an extra hit there on DistantCoder. And Toxeon obviously not able to put on any sort of offensive pressure. So it seems as though we're passing back to Coder as he looks to gain some momentum here. Here comes an Earth Spirit. It's going to be Vysceris, Stellar Vysceris from DistantCoder. I know he was pumped about this. He worked really hard at getting 3 Vysceris that are stellar. I think he has 2 right now, and his 3rd one's on its way. He wanted the blinged out deck just like me. And we're going to see, what is that? Is that a PTA? I didn't quite see what that rune was. I think it was Poison Tipped Arrow. I'm going to assume that was a Poison Tipped Arrow. I think that's what it was. That would make the most sense in kind of how the game state happened. We're going to see a Sparkit hit the field. This is exactly what you want if you're JacKyomu, who's got a lot of spirits on field. Sparkit's going to be able to start doing some things to Coder's hand. That's probably one of the reasons Coder's been setting his rune row so full right now, because he knows that that Sparkit can be such a menace against him. The thing is neither Sparkit nor Toxeon can hit over the Astravit, and it's a more favorable position for DistantCoder in the sense that the Toxeon is the one that has the extra spirit, not the Sparkit, because Toxeon, essentially you could pass it back to Toxeon and start burning every turn with those spirit passes. He's gonna do it anyway, right? Like there's 0 downside here to going for this Nexus, because you might have an opportunity to pull something really important out of DistantCoder's hand. So seems like there's a little bit of debate here from Jack, debating on what his optimal next play is here. Again, you generally want to try to keep those spirits on Toxeon for that burn. You want to Nexus to the Toxeon. Sparkit in this case is unable to Nexus to Toxeon, but it can Nexus away from Toxeon onto Sparkit, hit that hand rip, and then if you still can keep all those pieces alive for the next turn, you're going to be able to execute the hand rip. So here it comes, Nexus from Sparkit. You've seen it before. Let's see what DistantCoder's got in his hand. It's an Astravit and a Tectorus. So I think you're going to get, yeah, he's going to go for the Tectorus. So Tectorus goes down. I can tell you, Sniper, that's in the works, man. Definitely in the works. So a big hand rip there from Sparkit, and if you're Coder, you got to get rid of either the Toxeon or the Sparkit this turn. Like, probably the Sparkit. You really want to do that. And we know he's running 3 Earthquakes, so don't be surprised if he just plops an Earthquake down right out the gates. We saw him do it in the last Clash in their first round of best of 3. I wouldn't be surprised to see it again, but it's actually the Resting on Your Laurels, well-timed. And that's going to clear the Toxeon out. I love that play. Resting on Your Laurels, obviously, with Jack having 3 spirits on board and Coder only having 1, that gives him the opportunity to hit over it with the Laurels. And here comes another Thunder Spirit. This is going to be the Astravit. No, it's Elechick this time, actually. Elechick's going to be able to search out that Demeter, and he can get that big power boost to the field, allowing the Elechick to hit over the Sparkit if he wants to go that route. He may opt to just try to set up for a future turn, but I think this could be a really big opportunity for Coder here, because you can get Demeter out, you can give it the growth to the Elechick, which is what he's going to do. 1, I see only 1. How many spirits are we going for here? Looks like 3. 3 spirits on Demeter, and is he going to opt to disenchant? Let's see. This would be the window to disenchant. That would buff. He is going to do it. He's going to disenchant a spirit, buff up the Astravit, actually. I like it. Astravit's a 5 attacker, and he's going to attack the Sparkit with 1 attack. Do we see a Tsunami? We see the Tsunami. So a good play from JacKyomu, who's got the Tsunami. That's going to keep his Sparkit on the field for another turn. Not much you can do there if you're Coder, right? Like, you did everything you could do unless you have another rune that can pop something. In Elestrals, there's no main phase 2. So after your battle phase, you're going straight to end phase. Here comes another Spirit. There's an Elechick from JacKyomu. This is his window of opportunity to come back into this Clash. He can search out his Zeus now. Zeus provides Sparkit with all the ammunition it needs, and he's going to be able to pop whatever's in the hand of DistantCoder. And more than that, he's going to be able to attack over some of these defenders, right? I mentioned earlier in the Clash that Ooh, we see the Gorgon's Gaze, actually. Gorgon's Gaze is going to prevent that Zeus from hitting the field and prevent Sparkit from nexusing to it. A huge play from DistantCoder and an opportune time to do just that. Let me repeat what just happened. Gorgon's Gaze stops Elechick from searching the Zeus, which Jack was looking to get to pair with his Sparkit, and it prevents the Elechick from receiving a Nexus from the Sparkit as well, which means that Sparkit's hand rip effect can't be used this turn unless Jack has another way to get spirits on field. He's gonna opt to use his Ambrosia here, so that's gonna take 1, and then it's gonna give him 3. 1, 2, 3. And he's gonna grab a couple spirits back and start to set up for a later turn here. He pulls it off the Sparkit, interesting play. I guess he feels he's probably, that tells me that he feels that he's gonna lose his Sparkit on the next turn. That would be my guess. He feels as though that Sparkit might be going down soon. Otherwise, I would probably keep the spirits on field, but let's see here. He only has 1 back row. He's counting out his spirits. I have him at 13. Again, my count may not be totally accurate. I do the best I can. All right, let's see it. Here we go. He's gonna put his Sparkit into attack position, but again, no way to hit over the Astrabit. Yeah, I saw that, John. But I'm saying I don't know if I would have done that personally. All right, Sparkit probably going into the Elechick. Does Coder have an answer? He already burned his Gorgon's Gaze for the turn. Does he want to save the Elechick or not? That's going to be the big question here. He's debating his options. This may be an opportunity to go for like a Shield of Achilles, but he's just going to take the hit. I tend to think that that's probably the play, and that's going to be a pass of turn. DistantCoder sitting here. He's got an opportunity to make a big play here. Something like an Equilynx would be huge. There's the Earth Spirit. There's the Vysceris. That might be even more huge. Vysceris gives him an opportunity to start to steamroll this clash. He's going to disenchant onto the Astrabit, giving it 5 attack. Astrabit sitting at 5. If you're Coder, you are just praying there is no tsunami right now, because if there's no tsunami, you give yourself such a powerful board state. Astrabit attacks. Let's find out. Sparkit does indeed go down, which again explains why he opted to utilize that spirit last time. Vysceris goes after the Elechick. Does Jack have any sort of an answer to this? If not, Vysceris is going to be able to start to swarm the field with its effect. And there's the Gorgon's Gaze. Smart play. What that means is both Vysceris and Elechick are... Oh, he might just prevent the attack, actually, rather. That's probably the better play. No, he's going to let it go down. So both Vysceris and Elechick get destroyed. The Gorgon's Gaze suppresses Vysceris' passive ability, so it no longer gets the +1 attack and thus remains at 5. I think I got to do a couple spirits there. So he remains at 4 attack, rather. I'm sorry. And then Gorgon's Gaze also suppresses the ability from activating after it destroys an Elestral. Thus, it is unable to swarm the field. So a really well-timed Gorgon's Gaze, about as optimal as it gets as you trade your Elechick for the Vysceris. That's a really good play there if you're Jack. Jack's going to think about this, though. He's used a lot of his back row at this point. He was denied that Elechick play, which was huge. And now he's got to try to take out this Astrabit in defense. There's going to be a Resting on Your Laurels, and that is going to get rid of the Rabbit. Huge play. Resting on Your Laurels is one of those cards that can feel so good, but can also feel so bad, right? It's only a 1 spirit to play, so it's very cheap removal. It's one of the better cards in the game, but if you're someone who runs a lot of Divine Runes or your strategy involves getting a lot of spirits on field, it's not going to be that advantageous. And it seems though Jack is going to pass his turn. I'm unclear if he expended to draw. I'm unsure. But we're going to see another Astrabit hit the field for DistantCoder. This is a really good opportunity for him to start to bolster his field and start to look for those last couple cards he needs. With only 5 spirits left, it's going to be very crucial that he's able to set up his strategy for the late game here and grab exactly the pieces he needs to take advantage of this open field board state, right? I mean, you're sitting in a situation where Jack has legitimately nothing in front of him. So you know this Astrabit's going to hit directly. It's all about what can you get out of those 3 cards. He's debating it. He's going to shuffle. He's got the card he wants. That tells me that there was nothing jumping out at him. Nothing that really, like, told him that he needed it. But it's a rune. Whatever it was, it seems that he grabbed a rune. He's going to hit for 1 here with Rabbit. And that's going to bring Jack down to 9. Now, it is 5 to 9 on my calculations. I may be off 1 or so. But don't forget, Coder's got 2 spirits on board, right? So it's really 7 to 9. This is a very close clash here. Jack is looking for a big play. He's going to need something big here. He needs to get rid of that Rabbit. A Shield of Achilles would be detrimental. Here comes the Sparkit. This is an opportunity to start doing some hand rips. Will we see a Poison Tethero? This is where Shield of Achilles is really big. If you're DistantCoder, you're really looking to pull off a Shield of Achilles right now. If you have it, there's the Zeus. We're gonna see 3 on Zeus. 1, 2, 3. That's gonna bring Jack down to 5 spirits. Now you really need something to stop this Spark It, because it's gonna rip your hand to shreds. And of course, Zeus is gonna become a menace if it's able to continuously pop, you know, the attack and defense stats of things. Looks like he's got some ideas in mind. He's gonna go Gorgon's Gaze, opting to do it pre-Nexus though, which is smart. I kind of see it, right? I think there's a few ways you can play that. There's 2 different windows that you can utilize Gorgon's Gaze in this scenario. You can do it before the Spark It is able to use his effect Nexus, or you can do it after the Nexus takes place, but before the hand rip effect takes place. So there's a few different windows there. It seems as though Coder does it before the Nexus, so that's going to keep Spark It to 1 spirit. I generally like to do it after the Nexus, because if you can clear the Spark It, that's 1 extra spirit you get off the field. But maybe Coder just feels that maybe he doesn't have the best opportunity to take out the Spark It right now if it had 2 spirits on it. I'm not sure. But we're going to see the disenchant from the meter to buff the aDrive. That's going to get it to 5 attack. That's going to make it stronger than the Spark It. 2 runes set face down. And let's see here. He's going to go after the Spark It. This is a big play. Does Jack have a face down rune to deal with it? He is going to use a spirit on Zeus to play Shield of Achilles. And that is going to bounce the rabbit back to DistantCoder's hand. Shield of Achilles is going to cost him 1 extra spirit to play. And this is going to, again, come down to the wire. If you're JacKyomu, all you got to do is Nexus and get an attack off. Coder is not going to be able to stop 2 Elestrals attacking here. Only Tsunami would really be clutch at that point. He's going to Nexus onto the Spark It. There goes the rabbit. Coder worked really hard to set that whole back row. But the rabbit gets picked off, gets bounced to his hand, and then picked off. Really cool strategy you can use to return things back to your opponent's hand and then pick them off with things like Spark It and Zephyrog. Obviously, Spark It's seen a lot more than Zephyrog, but nonetheless. Let's see here. Looks like we're going to see, I think that was an expend to draw. I'm unsure. I'm not sure if he expended to draw. But Spark It's sitting here with 2 spirits. This is where, if you're distant, you really need a Shield of Achilles here. He's looking. It's a Tsunami. He is running Tsunami, so Spark It's going to be put into defense position. That's a really, really good play. But now DistantCoder is face to top deck for his game right now. He needs an Elestral. Does he have an Elestral? He needs an Elestral to be able to play this, and it looks like he's scooping. JacKyomu takes game 2 in this best of 3. Wow. Wow. That was a serious game right there. JacKyomu takes game 2. My goodness, it is 1-1 with these 2 casters throwing down. That was a crazy clash right there. I think the big play that we saw, if we kind of look back on it, I think those early turn Toxion plays were big. Neither player was able to really get a ton of offensive momentum going. Those counter runes were so impactful. I think if you're Coder, you really want to try to get your Equilynx making a more of an impact. I don't think he drew it, really, to be able to use it. But ultimately, JacKyomu able to do it, able to make it happen. I keep pressing the wrong buttons. 20-20. Let's get it kicked off. Both casters have their hands of 5. And it looks like we're going to get this one started off for DistantCoder with an aDrive. It's about as good as it gets on turn 1. aDrive gives you that flexibility of a defensive body on the field. It gives you the opportunity to add something to your hand that could be super crucial, and not only providing you the defensive pressure you need, it could set up your hand for future turns. It could set up combo pieces. Like, it cannot be overstated enough how impactful aDrive is, especially on that turn 1, right? Because you immediately are forcing your opponent to have to deal with it. If they can't hit over it, they're going to have to Earthquake it or something like that. And Coder, in this case, he's only got 1 spirit on field, so we know resting on your laurels isn't going to do it. So, aDrive, very, very powerful card. Very powerful card. All right, so Jack is going to get it. 3 face down runes. Coder knows he needs to protect his hand, with Spark It Zeus being a potential. Let's see here. We're going to see a Thunder Spirit and an aDrive of his own. aDrive going to hit the field. Both rabbits out. That's going to give Jack the opportunity to look at the top 3 of his hand and add 1. Same thing, right? We got the mirror rabbits here. No surprise. Both casters running 3 in their decks. You're going to see a lot of rabbits in this top cut. Again, one of the best cards in Elestrals right now, no doubt about it. We're going to see 2 back row. And a pretty similar turn, it looks like. DistantCoder going to draw for his turn. And now you are in a position, if you have the spirits to do so, you can start to push an advantage. Another Thunder Spirit. He's going to re-enchant his Astrabbit. So this is what we saw Jack do on the previous game with Toxion, re-enchanting those receive Elestrals. Certain Elestrals have effects that allow you to receive spirits, and when those receives, like the reception happens, you're able to do that effect. So Astrabbit's effect can be used multiple times. In this case, by getting another Thunder Spirit, he's able to do the same effect again, even though he obviously didn't cast it this turn. So very cool. We see cards like P-Gust really take advantage of that. But Astrabbit is probably the most widely known receive Elestral. And it may have gotten him an Earthquake because he's got 2 Earth Spirits here. That's going to pop the Rabbit. And now if you're Coder, do you push here with Rabbit and try to hit for 2? Looks like he's going to do just that. I don't hate that play at all. I think it's a great play. With 4 runes face down, it's almost guaranteed he's going to have an answer. And Jack is now forced to ask himself, do I want to stop this attack with the Shield of Achilles? Do I want to just take the spirits? Do I want a Tsunami? At this stage of the game, you generally just take the attack, right? Because it's 2 spirits. Those runes are going to be way more important if you have an opportunity to, you know, get some leverage with an Elestral on the field. But it cannot be, you know, again, another point, right? Like every micro decision matters. That Astrabbit hitting for 2, that's a big play, right? That's 2 more spirits. That's 10% of Jack's health. So here comes another Thunder Spirit and a Toxion. So Toxion's going to be able to burn DistantCoder for 1 here. This is where Coder, if he had a Gorgon's Gaze, he'd want to use it. Looks like he's just taking the hit. But will Toxion? Toxion is one of those Elestrals that it doesn't feel good to Shield of Achilles. He may end up doing it, but it doesn't feel good. Yeah, and he is going to do it. It doesn't feel good. And the reason why it doesn't feel good, he actually pulls one from the Rabbit, which I kind of like. Kind of minimizing his potential risk on the following turns with the Rabbit. But it doesn't feel good because then Toxion just is going to do the same thing the next turn, right? So you're kind of delaying the inevitable. But it does give him an opportunity to set up this play, which is to get his Equilynx to the field. And Equilynx is the key component of DistantCoder's strategy. By being able to Nexus with Equilynx, and that's a stellar Equilynx, by the way, it's beautiful. By being able to Nexus with Equilynx, you can start to hit runes, and it seems as though he's got exactly what he wants. The meter hits the field. This is the setup that DistantCoder's been looking for throughout this entire best of 3 right now. He's got it. He's got the window of opportunity. He has an opportunity to really start to put the pressure on JacKyomu here with Equilynx, especially if he can protect it. Now, Jack isn't out of this, right? Tsunami is most certainly in that back row. There may be a Gorgons or a shield of his own, but that's why it's going to be so clutch for Coder to hit the right target here. There's 3 targets to hit. You got to hit the right one, but you don't know which one is the right one until you use the effect. So let's see here. I think we're going to see that Nexus. I would assume he's going to go Nexus onto Rabbit, which I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Again, kind of put it onto the Elestral that, you know, is the least threatening one to kind of force your opponent to make some tougher decisions. And then Coder has declared which one he is going after. And he is going to let it go down. It was a Gorgon's Gaze. That's a big hit. That is a big hit for Coder as you set up for the late game. And he's going to attack for 1 with Equilynx. And there's the Tsunami. So we knew Tsunami was there. If you're DistantCoder, though, you're feeling great about that because you got rid of the Gorgons and you got rid of the Tsunami in the same turn. If you have some defensive pressure to keep your Equilynx and Rabbit on the field this turn, or at least the Lynx, you're in a really good spot next turn, right? Because you're going to be able to deal with some really powerful runes. Here comes a Thunder Spirit. It's going to be what? It's going to be that Toxion again. So Toxion going to hit the field. That's going to burn Coder for 1 spirit. And it's going to be able to pressure the Equilynx. Equilynx with 3 defense, Toxion with 4 attack. So if you're DistantCoder, you got to see if you have an answer here. This is where you would play your PTA or your Poison Tipped Arrow if you had one. Otherwise, you might be shielding it back. Let's see here. This is one of the key plays in the clash right here because it seems as though Jack may only have 1 face down rune. If Coder has an answer, he's going to go Gorgon's Gaze, and I think he plays it on the cast, it seems. I think he played the Gorgons on the cast, which is the right play. If I understood what happened there correctly, the reason why you play the Gorgons on the cast is because you stop the Toxion effect from happening. So rather than taking 1 from Toxion, you pay the 2 to play Gorgon. So it's only +1, but you're saving your Elestrals on board. So That ends up being, I think, a really smart play. Jack, I think, is just forced to set another rune face down just to kind of make Coder think. If you're Coder, your play here is you do this Nexus first. You do not change the position of your Elestrals because Tsunami does nothing against you right now. So here comes another Thunder Spirit. He's going to re-enchant his Rabbit. He's going to re-enchant the Rabbit, and that's going to allow him to look at the top 3 and continue to bolster his defenses. There is a very big spirit difference here, but don't forget, Coder has 5 spirits on board and is poised to potentially put on some serious offensive pressure right now. If the Equilynx is able to hit a really good rune, if that back row isn't able to do anything, I think we're going to see that Nexus play now. And he very intelligently is using those spirits so wisely. He's actually going to pass it back to Demeter. Again, keeping it out of the line of fire. By keeping those spirits on your Demeter, you're giving yourself a much better chance to kind of hang in the fight. And now that poison tipped arrow can't even be used. So some really cool plays overall here, right? Now, if you are DistantCoder, you're going to utilize that Demeter and you're going to try to boost up either your Lynx or your Astrabbit. It doesn't really matter which. He's going to go for the Lynx here. Or is he going to go for the Rabbit? I think he's going to go Rabbit. He's going to go Rabbit. So Rabbit is now sitting at 5 attack. And Rabbit's going to attack the Toxion. Does it go through? JacKyomu's thinking. He's looking into his Spirit deck. That tells me he's probably got an answer here. But Coder is putting on so much pressure on JacKyomu's back row. It's going to really come down to what Coder's back row is at this point, I think. It's going to be a Shield of Achilles. So he's going to bounce the Rabbit back. But now he has officially cleared the back row. So unfortunate on Coder's end, right? Like, Coder had an opportunity to really make a big play there if he hit the shield instead of the PTA. He hits the PTA, but you know what? He's going to trade his Equilynx. I'm a little surprised about that he trades the Equilynx considering how much pressure it was putting on, but he must feel that he can manage on the next turn. I think he might have another Equilynx or something. So let's see here. Here comes the Thunder Spirit, and it's going to be a Spark It. This is not what you want to see if you are DistantCoder. This is your biggest fear right now, because if you are sitting on a really good hand, it's about to get obliterated. There's 2 spirits hitting the field. There's your Zeus. This is where Coder is really wishing he had another Gorgon's Gaze, I'm sure. Does he go for the Nexus play? Oh, man, this one's going to come down to the wire, guys. What is the back row? There is the Nexus. Does Coder have a Gorgon's? He has a Gorgon's Gaze. Oh, my goodness. Gorgon's Gaze going to protect his hand. And now Jack is left out with all of these spirits on field. Very exposed for a huge play from DistantCoder coming up on this next turn. It seems as though there may be no back row. There's the draw for turn. An Equilynx here would be insane. Vysceris would be insane. Here comes an Earth Spirit. Or is this an Ambrosia? An Ambrosia. Really good play there. That's going to get him a +2. So that's going to get him right back into this clash. Give him a little bit more options. This is an opportunity to cycle your spirit resources. Maybe he used a lot of Thunder Spirits earlier on. He can grab another one now. Here comes the Equilynx. He did have another Equilynx, exactly as we anticipated. I felt that it was a little sus that he let his Equilynx go down so easily there when he could have kept it, kept it alive and tried to keep it alive for another turn. He crashed it last turn. Now he's got Equilynx onto the field. He's going to be able to get rid of that Zeus, which is huge, and then he can buff his Equilynx and attack over the Spark It. Now, it comes at the cost of his Demeter, but I think it's worth the play. Or you leave the Zeus. Maybe you leave the Zeus. He might, no, he's taking out the Zeus. I think you take out the Zeus at this stage of the game. And then he's going to buff the Equilynx, and then he's going to be able to take out the Spark It, and he's going to put himself in a really good position. I think he has a few more spirits than 6. I have him at 6, but this is big because Jack only has 2 cards in hand. He will have a turn to draw, but you're going to be able to get rid of the Spark It and the Zeus on the same turn and leave JacKyomu with no field. There's the hit into the Spark It. 7 attack Equilynx takes him down. I am very curious what Coder's last back row is right now. JacKyomu gets to draw for turn. This is going to come down to the wire. No spirit damage is exchanged there as both Spark It and Equilynx had 2 spirits on them. Jack does draw 3 cards in hand. Coder has 3 and a face down rune, it seems. I have them at 6 to 9. Jack, obviously, with the spirit advantage right now. Let's see what Jack's thinking. Let's see here. He's looking at his spirit deck, doing a quick count. It seems they're all just kind of checking their resources. Let me pop in and listen. Nope, we've got a Thunder Spirit and a Toxion. Toxion's going to be huge. That's going to burn Coder for 1. And does it crash into the Equilynx? Or does he have another Zeus? He's digging into a spirit deck again. 2 Earth Spirits. That's an Earthquake. It is an Earthquake, and that's going to take out the Equilynx. A huge swing from JacKyomu. He has an opportunity to hit directly here with Toxion. And if you're DistantCoder, you are basically at the point now where you are looking for one card. Vysceris. No, he's got the Shield of Achilles. Forget it. He's going to bounce that Toxion back at the cost of 2 spirits. But now Toxion's going to be able to burn him again. That was a very risky play. That was an incredibly risky play to shield it. I think Coder has 4 spirits, guys. 4 spirits. Sorry, I must have miscounted at one point. Seems as though he had 4. Let's see right now. 4 spirits, that is the case. He has an open board to attack. Both these casters are down to nothing on their field. Coder's in the driver's seat with the turn, but he's down a few spirits. Toxion is going to guarantee chip. That looks like 6 to me. So 6-4 seems to be accurate. That's the thing. You know Toxion is hitting you for 1 no matter what you do right now. So you really have to make a big play. And it's going to be an Earth Spirit. And it's going to be a Rummagem. Rummagem is going to be the option. So Rummagem gives Coder the opportunity to look through his deck and grab any card he wants right now. That is an Earth, and it's going to be Vysceris. This is the card he wanted. I think if he had Vysceris in his hand previously, he probably would have obviously not shielded the Toxion, because it gave him an opportunity to, you know, really steamroll this game. This is a close game, though, because Coder has the Vysceris, which is huge, and it can hit over the Toxion, but Toxion is going to be able to burn you for 1 no matter what. So he's going to take 1. Kyomu takes 1 damage from Rummagem. Stellar Rummagem hitting directly. Sleepy Rummagem. But again, Coder down to just 3 spirits, and you know Toxion is going to take 1 of those right now when it hits the field. This is where JacKyomu's Nexus deck comes in handy, because if he has something like an Altar of Stars and a Zeus, he could just straight up win the game, basically. So let's see here. Down to the wire again. Best of 3. These 2 casters have been keeping it close. They've been keeping it intense. There's an Earth Spirit and a Vysceris of his own. Surprise, surprise. You don't expect it. Vysceris hits the field. This might be game. If DistantCoder doesn't have back row, this might be game. 3 spirits to 4. Coder needs to get rid of this Vysceris. He needs to bounce it. But again, the problem is Toxion can just win the game if you get too low if you're DistantCoder. So you have to be super mindful about the decisions you make. And if you let the Rummagem go down to Vysceris, you're probably going to lose, because then Jack gets another Vysceris on the field. Oh my gosh. The Vysceris hits the field here in the late stages, a taste of his own medicine. This is an Elestral that is often used in a multitude of decks, as you see here. Just one of the strongest cards in the game. Comes out as a 4 attacker, gets to 5 on its own with its effect. When it destroys something, it gets another Vysceris out into defense position. You know Coder's got to think about this play. He may have a Gorgons, he may have a Shield, he may have a Tsunami. Tsunami's his best bet right now, I think. If you have a Tsunami, he's going to Poison Tip Arrow the Vysceris, and he's going to use the Spirit from Rummagem to do so. And then, which is smart, but then you're going to take 2 more spirits here in order to do this. And you're going to put yourself in a situation where Toxion wins the game. So I'm not sure how you get out of this. If you're DistantCoder, you're Hail Marying for an Ambrosia right now, because Toxion wins the game. No way! He had the Ambrosia! Oh my goodness! He's right back in it, ladies and gentlemen! On the ropes! At that point, if Coder casts the Vysceris, Toxion wins the game, because he would have 0 spirits left. So by having Ambrosia, it gives him the opportunity to get to 3 spirits to hang in this just long enough. And I want to call back to the point in the game where Coder emphasized getting those Astrabbit plays. I think he had 2 or 3 Astrabbit looks in the early part of this game, and I feel like those are paying dividends right now. I also want to call out that incredible clutch PTA, the Poison Tipped Arrow, pulling off the Rummagem to hit the PTA, making it so Vysceris had no target to destroy, meaning it couldn't swarm the field. So Coder got down to 1 spirit, and he needed the Hail Mary Ambrosia, and he got it. And now he's got 3 spirits and an open window to get out a Vysceris. This one's not over yet, though. We know Jack has Toxion in hand, and that's going to burn for 1 no matter what. If you're distant, I don't see why you're not just casting your Vysceris here. That would be my guess. Here comes, I think we're going to see an Earth Spirit. It's going to be a Thunder Spirit. Is he going to go Rabbit? He is going to go Rabbit into attack position. I see the play. I see the play. The logic here, if you're DistantCoder, is that you're going to have to deal with the Toxion no matter what. But Vysceris has nothing to attack right now. Whereas if you bring out the Vysceris on the next turn, then you can get rid of the Toxion a little bit easier and like remove some of Jack's counterplay. Or Coder's searching for like a Tsunami, because that could seal the game as well, right? That could keep him in the game if he has the Water Spirit. And I'm sure he's been very mindful about what's left in his deck, what's left in his Spirit deck. We know he's probably got an Earth Spirit. Here comes the Ambrosia again, another one! He finds it! Oh my gosh. This is huge. A huge Ambrosia play from DistantCoder, 2 in the same turn. And that's going to get him to 4 spirits, and all of a sudden, this is a totally different clash now. That Astrabbit play proves to be a big brain play, one of the biggest brain plays I've seen. Wow. Astrabbit gave him the window of opportunity to get into his deck again. He pulls another Ambrosia. He regens a total of 6 spirits or +4 this turn, and it keeps him in the game and actually gives him the lead right now. As we go into what could be one of the final turns of this one, JacKyomu, we know he's got a Toxion in his hand. We don't know what Coder's face down rune is, but now with 4 spirits, it gives him an opportunity to potentially make a play, right? If he shields something, he straight up wins. So this is going to be real close here. Actually, he may not straight up win if he shields, because there may be a world where... All right, there's the Toxion. We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. 3-2. I was saying there's a world where he may have a defensive Tsunami play or something like that. But does Toxion take out the Rabbit here? Does Coder let it happen? Does Jack have any back row? Let's find out. Oh man, this is gonna come down to the wire. Jack is digging for spirits here. Does he have a play? A Thunder Spirit? A Zeus? Oh man. This tells me, this tells me that JacKyomu's face down is almost certainly Altar of Stars. He's gonna clear that Astrabbit. This almost guarantees it's an Altar of Stars. If you're DistantCoder, you have to be so careful right now, because you could straight up lose the game if it is Altar of Stars. Let's find out. This is gonna be a real close one. If you just blindly charge in with Vysceris here, you're asking for trouble. Here comes the Earth Spirit. Here comes the Equilynx. Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be so... I don't even know how this is going to end. I feel like it's got to be Altar of Stars. So Altar of Stars basically can change the spirit from Zeus. And there's a Demeter. He's going to be able to pop the rune. He's going to go for the Demeter play. He's going all out. If it's an Altar, this one's over. Oh, man, this is going to be close. He's going to go 2 onto it. He's down to no spirits. If it's Altar, this one's over. He's going for the full play right now. He's going to Equilynx, and then he's going to pop the face down rune, and then he's going to crash into the Toxion. He wins the game if he gets that off. Coder is putting all of his eggs in the Equilynx basket right here, right now. No, he's not. He's going for just 1. Because he's going to want to hit over the Toxion. I see that. Oh, man. Does he go after the Zeus, or does he go after the face down? Is it Altar of Stars? It's a resting on your laurels. Oh, my gosh. He buffs up the Equilynx. He hits the Toxion. Toxion goes down. Jack is down to 0 spirits. And it looks as though Coder takes the game.
The GOAT Rabbit Yoink Ambrosia off the top.
Oh, my
Holy
gosh.
That was a crazy freaking game, bro. Not gonna lie.
Dude, that was.
I was like,
insane.
if he has Altar, he takes it. Like,
I was calling the Altar that whole time, dude. Wow.
Yeah. I didn't have the read on Altar. I didn't think he had it.
I was trying to bluff it.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
I figured, right? You had no other reason to activate the Zeus other than if you had it. But I'm like, if he has it, he has it.
Wow. GG's, guys.
GG.
That was a hell of a. Okay, Dan, can I get like a 5 or 10 minute like pee break before the next round, please? I'm like actually like set like stressed.
Go
right
pee
now.
quick, man.
Alright.
Bro.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, that was a crazy clash and a clash for the ages. I cannot believe what we just saw. That was crazy, dude. That was actually crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this one kicked off. We're just jumping right into our semifinals right now. SpicySausage throwing down against Titan. These two casters have been throwing down all day. They've got their alternating circle the sky playmats. You gotta love it. That's so sick. Oh my God, that's so sick. So, you know, the top caster, Sausage, has the thunder, fire, circle the sky, and Titan has water, earth, circle the sky. So that's a really cool thing for me to see, honestly. I really, circle the sky is like a really important piece of like the Elestrals kind of creation, because it was kind of like the first Nexus card that we made and kind of helped us come up with the Nexus idea. And, you know, it's really like iconic for us in terms of like our development. So, kind of cool to see those playmats in action. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh man, this is going to be a doozy. And it looks like Sausage is going to be the one to kick this one off. And we're going to see a Thunder Spirit hit the field. Could be a turn 1 Astrabbit. It's an Elechick, actually. Turn 1 Elechick. So really good start off for Sausage here. I was going to give him the freedom to look through his deck and grab his Divine Rune. And it's going to be the Zeus. Zeus is a divine of choice for many casters right now. Being able to debuff attack and defense on opponents' Elestrals is really useful. Oftentimes it's utilized with the Nexus strategy though, right? Like using things like Toxion to extra burn damage, using things like Spark It to rip hand, using things like Astrabbit to use his look a little bit more. So there's a few pieces of the puzzle that really kind of stand out. So let's see what we got here. Elechick hits the field. We know he's got a Zeus. Generally, you're not going to play the Zeus unless you're running Altar of Stars right now. So he's going to set 1 back row, set 2 back row, set 3 back row, and probably leave a spot for Zeus for the next turn. And Titan's going to go now. So he's going to draw his card. Let's see what he's got going on here. Those clean white sleeves, the Leviathan Spirit sleeves. I love that. I love that we sell our sleeves in like 2 different sets of the same pack. I think that's really fun. There's a Zaptor and another Zaptor. What is this? A Thunderstorm. You don't see that played too often. Titan obviously making it to the semifinals. Thunderstorm, a card that generally, he's going to pop a shield. The downside to cards like Thunderstorm, and the reason why you often don't see them played a lot, is because you're spending a lot of spirits to get rid of something. And generally, your opponent isn't spending any spirits when they lose that card. So in this case, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, I lose my shield, but I didn't spend anything to play the shield. So like, it's a 2 spirit exchange, right? It's not always advantageous. In this case, though, he trades. He gets rid of the shield, which may prove to be useful because now Necrof's gonna hit. If this hit goes through, it's gonna be a really big play. There's a Tsunami though. You gotta expect the Tsunamis. Tsunami is everywhere. And that's going to make this Necrof have a hard time. I've been seeing a lot of Necrofs misenchanted with water for that reason alone. But we'll have to see how this plays out. As now Sausage is going to get his turn. We saw 3 back row there for Titan. Maybe a 4th. It's unclear. I think it's 3. And now he's obviously got the opportunity to go on the offensive. There's a Thunder Spirit. And here comes Astrabbit. You love it. Astrabbit, obviously. Only 2 attack, but it's going to be able to hit over this Necrof with 1 defense, and it's going to be able to look at the top 3 and add something to his hand. Generally, you're not going to Gorgons the Astrabbit, so I think you're just going to let it go through. He is going to Gorgons it. I stand corrected. So he says, you know what? I don't want you to get anything in your hand. I'm going to just go for the Gorgons right now. I'm going to stop that rabbit. That tells me that he probably has another option to stop the Elechick, right? Because you don't just Gorgons an Astrabbit if you like have no way to deal with the Elechick. So I'm thinking we're gonna see a shield here or a Tsunami. Okay, so he's gonna play the Tsunami. I'm a little surprised about that play, right? I think that if it's me, I'm just letting him get the look. To me, that 1 card probably not gonna make a huge difference. I have the Tsunami. I'm protecting my Necrof anyway, but we'll wait and see how it plays out. Let's see here. Necrof is poised to go on the offensive. This is where something like a Thunderstorm would be really clutch, right? Because then there's only 1 back row to contend with. When you're dealing with a full row of 3, it's like really hard. But there's an Earthquake. So big plays here from Titan, going big on these early turns, using their cards. They're going to clear that rabbit. But let's not forget, there was 4 spirits used to get rid of that Astrabbit, right? Like, think about that. That is a really good exchange. So far, Titans used 6 spirits to get rid of 2 cards, right? Thunderstorm got rid of Shield, Earthquake plus Gorgons stopped the Astrabbit. So, to me, that's not the kind of exchange that I want in this situation, but he's got a lot of offensive pressure because he's got 2 Necruffs on the field, and this game can get flipped around real quick if these Necruffs start hitting. So here comes the Necruff. No response. That's going to be 2 spirits taken here. Necruff's going to deal 1 spirit of damage for knocking out the Elechick, and then the other Necruff is going to be able to attack directly. And Titan going very, very big in this early game to gain a board advantage. Stopping the Astrabbit, popping the runes, very control heavy, trying to limit the options of Sausage and give himself an opportunity to just steamroll with his 5 guys deck. Here comes a Thunder Spirit. This is looking to be another Astrabbit. It is going to be an Astrabbit into defense position. His second attempt at it. No face down runes on Titan's end, so we're not going to see another Gorgon's Gaze play here. So let's see what he's going to do. Looking at the top 3, going to be able to add 1 to his hand. And let's see it here. He's got some spirits, kind of considering some of his options. A lot of Thunder Spirits there. Kind of deciding which of the 3 he wants to grab, right? That tells me that maybe there's an Ambrosia there. Maybe there's something like an Earthquake there. He wants to make sure he has the right amount of spirits for it. He's going to just double check that spirit deck, it seems. He's going to do a quick count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm at 14 on my count, but I might be a little off. And that's where he's going to land. So he's going to put those cards back in his deck. The other 2 that he did not add, obviously, Astrabbit only gives you the 1. He's going to shuffle it up, and we'll see what's next here. What do we got next? All right. A little bit of fumble jumble there. Deck's falling over in 2 FPS. And a little cut. A little safe cut here. Make sure we cut our decks. No shenanigans going on. This is an elaborate cut. Oh, I understand. He rolled his die to determine how many cuts. Makes sense. As the deck falls all over and stuff. Get your deck all straightened out there, Sausage. All right. Astrabbit provides him a defensive body. He's going to do another cut. Another series of 5 cuts this time. 6 cuts. He really wants him to shuffle. Maybe it's just me, but when people ask me to cut, I'm just like, bro, it's all good. But I guess these are in the top 4, so I can understand them wanting to be a little bit more on the cautious side. Another rune gets placed face down. And that's probably going to be a pass. Let's see here. It is draw for turn. Titan gets another card. That's 2 cards in hand. He does not have an opportunity to hit over that Astrabbit, though. So Sausage in a position where that Astrabbit can really hold down the defenses. This might be an opportunity to expend to draw if you're Titan. Let's see here. He's got a Water Spirit. It's a Smoltuga into attack position. Smoltuga hits the field. That's going to allow him to search his deck for a Fire Elestral and add it to his hand. Generally, you would grab something like a Kinleo, but I think in this case, Titan's probably running Necruff, so I think you just grab a Necruff here. I find it interesting that the Smoltuga ended up in attack position instead of defense position where it has 5 defense. Let's see what options Titan has for a Fire Elestral that he can grab from his deck. It might be a Necruff, and it is going to be a Necruff. He's got that beautiful Artist Collection Suga Mosby Necruff there, and he's going to be able to grab a 3rd one. So, again, he's got 3 Elestrals on field, and Astrabbit staring him down. Maybe he's trying to bait the Astrabbit into attack position. I don't know. Smoltuga in attack, not doing a whole lot here. Maybe he has an Earthquake, and he's kind of trying to see some things out. He's got a defensive rune here, and he's going to be forced to pass. He's not going to be able to hit over this rabbit this turn, so some interesting plays there. Smoltuga does give you that search. It thins out your deck a little bit, makes that expend to draw a little bit better on the next turn. There's another rune face down on SpicySausage's end. And he's reaching for a spirit deck. That tells me he's going to cast an Elestral. What is it going to be? Going for another Thunder Spirit, actually. He's going to go double on the rabbit here. And I got to say, Spicy is getting a lot of value out of his Astrabbit in this game. He had the first one shut down by the Gorgon's Gaze, but again, burned an Earthquake after that. And then he's gotten 2 Astrabbit looks on this one. So that's pretty clutch because he's just basically getting free cards added to his hand, and that could be a number of different things, right? It could be protection. It could be, you know, Elestrals for the offensive. Let's not forget Sausage got a Zeus too, right? So at any point in time, he could turn this around and try to start firing off some more, you know, some more offensive plays. He could start to get a little bit more aggressive if he wanted to. Okay, back into the action. Some lengthy shuffling again. I can't blame him. And it looks like he is going to pass turn. Astrabbit getting another play, but again, he's sitting here defending very well with this Astrabbit. So Titan looking to make a push here. He's going to need like an Earthquake. Let's see what he's got. He's reaching for a Wind Spirit this time. This could be Sorlet, and it is going to be Sorlet. That's the card you need. Sorlet's going to force this Astrabbit into attack position. If you're Sausage, you're going to need to use a Gorgon's Gaze here to stop that, or you're going to need to be able to stop the position change. We're going to see a Spirit pulled and a Poison-Tipped Arrow onto the Sorlet. So, cool play there. You're basically saving a Spirit in doing so, and you're going to drop the attack of the Sorlet, which isn't going to be useful. We see the expend on Titan's end. He's going to expend a Wind Spirit to change the position of Astrabbit to attack position. And Sorlet will come off the field at the end of the turn, but Titan should be able to get an advantage here. Here comes the Nekruff, and there's no counterplay here. He's going to take one Spirit from Nekruff, one from Smoltuga, one from Sorlet, and one from Nekruff. And then he's going to take one from Poison-Tipped Arrow at the end to get rid of the Sorlet. So, let's see here. I see 3, I think. And then end phase, we'll see if he does Poison-Tipped Arrow. I would assume he does. We didn't see him use it. I'm not sure if I missed something. He PTA'd the Sorlet and then didn't use it. I don't know. But all of a sudden, Titan is in a very powerful position, sitting here with 4 Elestrals on field, 2 Nekruffs, a Sorlet, and a Smoltuga. This is game 1, yes. If you're SpicySausage at this point in the clash, there's a few ways you can get back in it, right? And I think one of those ways is you really need a Tsunami, because you're going to need to slow down this offensive pressure. A Vysceris is really the key Elestral that'll get you back in it. A Vysceris plus a Tsunami. And that's assuming Titan's back row is not anything to worry about right now, which it very much could be. There's the Earth Spirit. This could be the Vysceris. And it is the Vysceris, exactly what you're looking for if you're SpicySausage. It's almost like I have ESPN or something. The perfect play. He has an opportunity to go after the Smoltuga, knock it out, get another Vysceris onto the field, and then pressure with Tsunami on the following turn. But Shield of Achilles hits the field, and it's going to bounce him right back and delay that offensive pressure for another turn. The window of opportunity was there for Spicy to kind of climb back in this one, but he's not able to do it as the opportune Shield of Achilles from Titan is going to bounce that thing right back to his hand. He still has the Vysceris for the next turn, but again, it becomes exponentially less effective the lower the spirits you have. Titan with 6 spirits, but 4 on field. Sausage, I believe, has 8. This is a very close clash. We know Sausage still has Zeus as well in hand. Titan thinking about his options here. This is a play where you could maybe pull an Ascension. I think at this point, you're playing safe, though. You're just looking for back row to protect and just continuing to fire off. If you hit this 4 attack off, you're in a very good spot. Sorlet, or Smoltuga actually going to defense, that's a smart play. By doing that, you prevent the Vysceris from getting that free kill. So I think that was a really smart decision there, and he's going to be able to hit for 3 here. 2 Nekruffs and a Sorlet hitting directly. The 5-guy strategy proven to be very effective. And this is a situation where I'm even more confused about that Poison-Tipped Arrow on the last turn, because you're taking, you know, all the damage you would have already taken at this point. Like, the Sorlet could have been gone. I guess it may not matter too much because Titan could have just cast another Elestral, but I'm just unsure there. But we're going to see a Thunder Spirit. We're going to see an Ambrosia, so he's going to get +2. Sausage kind of getting back into it, trying to get some more spirits here. But again, his play is he needs this Vysceris to do something, and he has that opportunity, right? Vysceris plus Zeus gets him the cast he's looking for. It all comes down to what is Sausage's back row. If Sausage has the Tsunamis, he may be okay here. Like this, I know it looks bad, right? 4 Elestrals to none, but if there's one Elestral that can pull this back, it is definitely Vysceris, and he has it. So I think the play here is you're going out with the Vysceris, you're putting out your Zeus, you're going to want to get over one of those Nekruffs, or probably the Sorlet, actually. Either one, I think there's a case to be made for either. And then you're going to need to be able to stop whatever attack that Titan is going to bring on the following turn to your Vysceris. Because if you can get a 3rd Vysceris to the field somehow, that's how you really flip this game really quick. So there's a Thunder Spirit. He's actually going to go a defensive play. He might go Astrabbit here. No, he's going to go Spark It, actually. So he's gonna pair Sparkit and Zeus. Opting to not go Vysceris right now, but rather Sparkit Zeus. 2 on the Zeus. And now he's gonna be able to Sparkit, hand rip, and then knock out something. So he definitely has the back row. It's just a matter of, like, is it Tsunami or what? And he's gonna pull either a Vysceris or a Necruff. He's gonna pull the Vysceris. Sparkit, with the help of Zeus, can take out one of these Elestrals. I'm curious which one you go for, though. Because you could take out the Smoltuga if you want as well. But Smoltuga's not really putting on any offensive pressure, so he is going to go with a Disenchant off Zeus. That's going to allow him to target down one of Titan's Elestrals and destroy it with Sparkit. He can also deal a damage of Spirit if he goes after one of the attackers. He's going to go after the Sorlet. I think that's a smart play, right? Because you're preventing the Sorlet from being able to change your position, and Titan's going to lose a Spirit as a result, as the Sparkit is carrying 2 Spirits on it, and Sorlet only has 1. So Sorlet's going to go down. And now Titan looks to pull some runes. We know he has a Necruff in hand and 1 other card. Let's see what he's going to do here. Does he just get another Necruff out? He's going to go Water Spirit into Galaxy. A huge play that may completely shut down SpicySausage's plans. Galaxy comes to the field with its effect 5 attack and then turns the Smoltuga into a 5 attacker as well. Tsunami doesn't stop this train. There's a Spirit there. Here comes Galaxy, Smoltuga, and Necruff all firing off. There's a Zeus and a Helios' Cherry Ride. This one's over. Titan takes game 1 of the best of 3 in the semifinals. Whew. There was a window of opportunity there for SpicySausage, but it was stopped very quickly, and Titan took advantage with the 5 guys strategy. 5 guys is a reference to decks that utilize 5 attackers in Elestrals, and what Titan is running is like the quintessential version of that, where you're utilizing these 5 attackers, Vysceris, all this stuff, right? But I really like this idea of utilizing Smoltuga and Galaxy. Tsunami is such an oppressive card at the right moment. It can really, really make it hard to go on the offensive. But when you're running Smoltugas and Galaxy, you don't care about that. It no longer is a factor. It seemed as though Sausage wasn't going to have the answers either way at the end there, but Titan is going to take game 1 and go up 1-0 as we head to a game 2 here shortly, as these 2 casters continue to fight to get to the finals of the Elestrals tournament here, the Webcam tournament. They're all fighting for a full art Pantera uncut sheet. A really sick prize, by the way. The only way to get these uncut sheets is to win an event or a giveaway. I've only done 1 giveaway, and then we've had a few events, like 4 events, right? So there's only a handful of these things out there in the world. So a real cool prize, like very, very cool to have these uncut sheets. So yeah, that was a doozy right there. That was definitely a doozy. Woo, baby. That was something else. PK, I just want you to know that, like, your pain points with Yu-Gi-Oh right now are some of the main reasons I created Elestrals to begin with, dude. Because I was feeling the same thing, bro. I was hardcore playing Duel Links a couple years ago. I was loving it. And then it got so overwhelming, dude, because they kept releasing new sets all the time. I couldn't keep up with it, not only for my wallet, but my brain. And it just got so overwhelming. And then they started adding these crazy, even crazier things in, man. And I was like, I can't even. And now I watch a game and I have no idea what's even happening anymore, because it's just so, you know, it's so combo oriented, which isn't like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's incredibly overwhelming. I can't even understand how a new player can even get into that game. And again, no shade. Obviously, I respect the history. It's a huge inspiration, and it's a game that I've loved and appreciated in my life. But there's no way someone can get into Yu-Gi-Oh right now and like actually be able to learn it without feeling incredibly overwhelmed. So I feel like we're at a really good time in the world of Elestrals to get involved. We got some great stuff coming next year. 2024 is the year of Elestrals. This is all like the pregame. Like, I don't even consider Elestrals to be officially out yet, guys. Like, Elestrals doesn't officially launch in my mind until like first edition and set 2 come out. That's when it really, the fun stuff happens, because I can't get into stores. I can't do all those cool things if I don't have, if I don't have cards. I totally missed that first turn there. We see a Sorlet hit the field on SpicySausage's end, and then Titan responds with a Vysceris of his own in attack position. I apologize for me being all distracted and chatting. He's gonna crash the Vysceris. I like this play. Vysceris crashing here, but he's gonna run into a Shield of Achilles actually on Sausage's end. He's gonna save his Sorlet, not allow the clash. that means, or the crash rather, that means that Sorlet gets to live another day and Vysceris gets bounced back to the hand. Shield of Achilles on Vysceris is kind of like a double-edged sword, right? Like, you're kind of delaying the inevitable. You know you're going to have to still deal with that thing later. So he's going to save his Sorlet for another turn, maybe get another chip of damage off. Not a bad play from Sausage if you have more back row. You really don't want to let that Vysceris hit you. It becomes such a problem. All right, here we go. An Earth Spirit hits the field. It might be a Vysceris of his own. And it is a Vysceris of his own. A very interesting play. And the reason why I'm going to mention this is because now Vysceris, if it hits the field on Titan's end, will be stronger than Sorlet. So it will no longer be a crash. Because Vysceris pulls its attack from everything on the field. But it's not going to matter because we're going to see that clutch Tsunami play from Titan here. As Tsunami's going to change the tides, turn both Vysceris and Sorlet into defense position, and open the door for Titan to start to fire off some big Vysceris plays here. So here we go. Let's see if that Vysceris comes back out and if it starts to dominate. I think there's a really good opportunity here for Titan if that face down rune that Spicy has is not a threat. Here comes the Vysceris again. Back for round 2. Is there an answer this time, though? Is there an answer to it? 2 face down runes for Titan. If this Vysceris hits off here, this could be exactly what Titan's looking for. Here comes the attack going into the other Vysceris, I'm assuming. And it's going to hit it. That's going to get the Vysceris effect off. And now Titan has the freedom to look through his deck and grab another Vysceris and cast it into defense position. I like to tell the story about how when we were, testing the game, before anyone even knew about it, I was on my porch in the back of my house with my buddy Steve, or Magnitude, who actually codes the Elestrals app. And him and I were sitting there, and Vysceris was actually made for Magnitude. I told Magnitude, I'm like, listen, man, you've been a huge part of this project. I want to make an Elestral for you. What do you want me to make? What do you want it to look like? So we made Vysceris because he's a big fan of Scyther. So he wanted the Mantis. That was pretty cool. And I wanted Vysceris to be a good card. So in the early stages of Elestrals, Vysceris used to cast the next Vysceris into attack position. It was so busted, dude. It was so busted. Anyway, we're going to see an Astrabbit hit the field into defense position for Sausage. Sausage is going to be able to look at the top 3. Does Titan respond with another Gorgons? I'm assuming probably not this time. I think you let him fish, but when Vysceris used to be able to special cast... Oh, he does Gorgons again, dude. Wow. This is a play that I really have not seen a lot of, guys. Like, I have not seen a lot of casters utilize Gorgon's Gaze on Astrabbits. It's not something I've seen a lot of, and Titan used it effectively in game 1, and now he's using it in game 2, so I'm very surprised to see that. I really am. There is an app, digital version. It's a mobile app. It's free to play, 100% free. You can download it for free in our Discord server. You just got to join our Discord. And there's the Shield of Achilles. That's going to bounce that back, so it makes sense now. He is basically trying to chokehold Sausage from getting any sort of momentum here, right? He's shutting down the rabbits. He's shutting down the offensive from the Sorlets. And now he's in a position where Vysceris, if it picks up this Astrabbit, it's going to be very difficult for Sausage to come back from here. Titan going to draw for turn here. It all comes down to what that back row is for Sausage. It wasn't anything he could do on the last turn. Here comes, could be another Elestral from Titan. If you're Titan, you'd love to get a Galaxy out here right now. More offensive pressure. Yeah, I like I said, the Gorgons onto Rabbit is one of those plays where you don't see it too often because it doesn't gain you a ton of an advantage. It's Gorgons is one of the best cards in the game, so you generally want to save it for a key moment. But Titan feels this is a key enough moment. So again, I questioned the play in game 1 and it worked out, and here I am again. And there's the Thunderstorm. I love it. He's got all the right text. Thunderstorm gonna blow back an Ambrosia. Not really the trade you're looking for, but if you're Titan, now you can attack without fear. Vysceris powering each other up. They now have 6 attack each. And they're going to have another friend hit in the field. Here comes a Smoltuga. He's able to continue to build his board state. Smoltuga can search out that Necruff, thin his deck a little bit. Now he's going to be able to add another card to hand. That's going to be the Necruff. That's going to put on even more pressure, as every time Necruff destroys something, you're taking another Spirit of damage. Titan continuing to pile on. He's got these big, wide board states going on. Vysceris is going to obliterate this Astrabbit. Then we're going to see another Vysceris hit the field. And then we're going to see SpicySausage take 2 spirits of damage here. That's how this turn's looking to be. There's the Vysceris hitting, 2 spirits coming off. We're going to see that happen. And then, did we see another Vysceris hit the field? Did we see Vysceris effect? Maybe he's opting not to do the Vysceris effect? I guess maybe not. Is there one in the underworld that I missed? Maybe he just doesn't want to play it. Maybe he wants it in his hand. I'm unsure, but it looks like Sausage is taking turns. So maybe he didn't want to use another Vysceris. Maybe it's in hand. He didn't feel like he needed it on the field. He wanted to get Galaxy out next turn. He's got no back row. So Sausage does have an opportunity here to put some pressure on, but you got to figure out, how do I get through these two monster attackers? Did I miss something? Why wouldn't he search out another Vysceris there? I'm not sure. I'm gonna be honest, I'm unsure as to why. Because you could have put your Vysceris at 7 attack, which makes so Zeus plus like 4 attacker would have had to crash. So I'm a little unsure. Maybe it got destroyed earlier and I missed it or something. I don't know, but I'm trying to think of any other, you know, could value the slot for a tech Elestral. Yeah, but you could just ascend, right? Like you could just ascend onto the Vysceris if you really wanted it. There's an Earthquake here. So Sausage starting to climb back. Earthquake gonna get rid of one of those Vysceris. Now he's only got 2 Elestrals to get through. There's a Water Spirit. And it's going to be a Sorlet. Misenchanted Sorlet. Interesting. Maybe setting up for a future turn. He is going to be able to take out that Smoltuga. So Smoltuga goes down. But no back row. Titan in a position to really take advantage here. He's going to set a back row. This all of a sudden got real close. I'm also surprised that maybe he didn't properly enchant Sorlet, change Vysceris to defense, take it out. But you're going to stare down a Necrof here anyway, right? So now he's got to deal with that. And he has the opportunity to crash Vysceris, get another one out if he has it, and then Necrof can hit directly. Or you have the Necrof crash, deal 1 damage, and have the Vysceris attack. So there's a couple different ways you can play this if you're Titan. He's going to go crash Vysceris. They're both going to get destroyed. Both the Piggy and the Vysceris. And now is he going to use the effect? Let's see here. There it is. So it was in his hand the whole time. So maybe that was his thought process. He thought, you know what? I have such control of this board state right now. I don't really need to do anything. You know, I don't need to get my extra Vysceris out. So he's able to get it out now. He's going to misenchant it with a Wind Spirit. And then he's going to hit for 1 with Necrof, I presume. And... oh, the Vysceris in defense. Yep, of course. I don't know if Sausage took that one Spirit there. He's going to get a Thunder Spirit out. This could be another Astrabit. It's going to be a Sorlet Misenchanted. I believe that's a Sorlet. I think that's the Artist Collection one. And that's going to clear the Vysceris. So no counter rune play there from Titan. We've got some trading back and forth. Let's see here. He's thinking about his turn. Cracking his knuckles. Debating on what to do. Reaching for his Spirit deck. You obviously have the freedom to crash with Necrof to deal damage. But you probably don't want to do that unless you have another Elestral. He also has freedom to expend to draw if he wants to. He's got 2 back row. I'm assuming no Elestral in hand since he hasn't done anything with it yet. He's counting his spirits. I have him at 7. Maybe debating the expend to draw. He is going to go for the expend to draw. So for those that don't know, in Elestrals, you have the freedom instead of casting an Elestral or re-enchanting an Elestral to expend a spirit or pay 1 spirit from your spirit deck to draw a card. So a lot of times casters will do that in the early game when you're okay to take a few extra hits or you don't need to cast anything, or casters will use it in kind of the mid to late game as they search for the key pieces to kind of seal out a game. So in this case, we're in the latter, probably fishing for Elestrals. The way the current metagame is for Elestrals, most casters are only running 15, maybe 18 Elestrals, right? So many counter runes, right? We're talking about oftentimes 8 to 12 plus counter runes right now in a game. So he opts to not attack. He's got 4 back row. I can't say I blame him, right? He says, you know what? I don't need to attack you. I'm just going to sit here and see what you can do. Let's see what that's going to be, though. He's going to expend a spirit, it seems, to draw. So both casters kind of doing the same thing, trying to get their positioning ready. And Zeus hits the field. This might be exactly what he's looking for. Zeus gonna get powered up with 3, it seems. And now Zeus is going to give him the opportunity to buff up his, or actually debuff that Necruff and have Sorlet attack over it. And with Titan fishing for spirits right now, this could be a big play. Or I'm sorry, fishing for Elestrals right now. This could be a big play. There is a Shield of Achilles. That's going to bounce him back. And Sorlet's going back to hand. This might spell doom for SpicySausage. Titan is just looking for an Elestral right now. You might not even need an Elestral. He may just be able to re-enchant the Necruff. He's got the Ambrosia, though. That's going to give him +2 and further his lead right now. Sausage with no back row means he's at least taking 1 hit here, but I think you're probably taking 2. Looks like he's fishing for Thunder Spirits. He might have another Astrabid or an Elichick. Or another Thunderstorm, right? We saw him pop that Thunderstorm earlier, which was really big. He grabs 3 Thunder, so he might really want to play like a Thunderstorm or an Astrabid or something like that. Ambrosia, a really key card, allowing you to kind of recycle those spirits. So, you know, I get to, there's the Astrabid. He's going to go into attack position. I think that's a smart choice. You know, one of the Astrabid does give you that freedom to kind of cycle. I can tell you in my deck builds, let's say I want to run 3 Earthquakes, right? Earthquake takes 2 Earth Spirits to cast. I will often run 3 Earthquakes, but only 4 Earth Spirits. So I'm basically allowing myself, okay, I can play 2 Earthquakes in a game, and if I need to play a 3rd, I'm going to need my Ambrosia to do it, right? And when you get to the higher levels of Elestrals, you're going to see that kind of min-maxing and optimization of those different plays. Because you don't really, if you don't need all 6 Earth Spirits, you really don't want to use them. And chances are you're not going to use 3 Earthquakes in a game, right? You're not going to draw all 3. So oftentimes you'll kind of max that. I run 3 Tsunamis. I probably only run 2 Leviathans. I'm going to give myself that freedom to be able to play 2 of them. And if I need to play a 3rd, I'm going to have to Ambrosia. We're going to see an Ambrosia here from SpicySausage. It's going to allow him to regen, kind of think of a couple different options here, get him right back up to 4 spirits, but he's staring down a pretty big offensive threat here. A deck list share in the Discord. Oftentimes the casters will share the deck list. We don't publicly just share them after the events unless people want us to. I kind of go of the belief of we should just share it all, but we haven't really kind of crossed that bridge, I guess. Most people seem pretty cool about it. To me, I at this stage of Elestrals, I feel like it should be an open book. Everyone should just be trying to learn from each other. That's my take on it, but obviously I'm not the one competing, so if someone feels like they had a really good idea, then maybe they want to keep it a secret. But I would say a lot of this stuff has kind of been teased out by now. Community deck list. Oh yeah, PK. We have a whole deck list section. People give all sorts of information, and we have a rate my deck and help me build and stuff like that. And PK, if you want anything, just DM me, dude. I got so many decks built where I can at least point you in the right direction if you're trying to build a certain strategy. I can tell you I've been working with a burn deck lately that I think is really cool. Krakatuga burn. My favorite deck is Wind Control. You can do a lot of different things. I was someone who kind of pioneered the foamy float Sonic Core, which is a really cool deck. I think that's a deck that could make a splash in the future. So yeah, we have a lot of resources. So yeah, for sure. So Astrabid does give him some defensive pressure, right? This is kind of an interesting play because if Titan can't hit over this, it may keep Sausage in the game a little longer. You took 10 today with Tuga Burn. Nice. I believe in the Tuga Burn, dude. An Earthquake from Titan. That might be it. That might seal it right here. He's going to hit it for 2. He doesn't have another Elestral. He chooses not to enchant. Which means Sausage, I think, is down to 1 spirit left. That tells me that Titan has a good back row because the back row is going to be able to stop whatever Sausage wants to do here. But with only 1 spirit left, here we go. Let's find out. What is Sausage going to do? His tournament hopes on the line as these 2 casters are vying for the final spot. There's an Earth Spirit. Is it a Vysceris? It is. It's got to be a Vysceris, right? A Sorlet. Wait, does he have actually 1 more spirit? I might have miscounted his spirits. He might have 1 more. So Sorlet coming out. 5 attack. Earth Spirit. He's going to disenchant the Zeus. That's going to allow him to hit over the Necruff if he wants to. That's another situation. He could have pulled off the Zeus for the Ambrosia. He does get rid of the Necrof. Wait a minute. This one's not over, ladies and gentlemen. This is definitely not over. Because Sorlet is staring him down here, and he needs a way to deal with it. And Sausage is 2 back row, and he has a Zeus that he can play with. This is real close. Rabbit turns to defense. 3 spirits for Titan. Do you re-enchant your rabbit? Do you wait? Ooh, this is a close one. This is a close one. Let's see it. 3 face down runes. And I think he's gonna pass. Oh man, he's thinking. How is this one gonna end? SpicySausage, 1 spirit. Titan, 3 spirits, it seems. Sorlet on the field, but cannot use its effect to change Astrabit's position. I don't think you'd want to at this stage of the game anyway. You gotta find another way around it. Zeus Disenchanting will get you there. And it may seem like a simple solution. Oh, you just use your runes, but those are gonna cost you some spirits, so this is gonna come down to the wire. And it all comes down to what those runes are too, right? Like Titan could be bluffing at this stage of the game. They seem to be having a serious discussion about it. Double checking those, seeing if they change. There's a resting on your laurels. Sorry, I had to pause there. Siberian's on it. Resting on your laurels has a casting condition. You can't play it unless your opponent has 2 or more enchanting spirits. So what he tried to do is he tried to pull the spirit from the rabbit to cast the laurels, but you can't do that. Because at the time that you're trying to cast the laurels, you have a spirit on the field. So it doesn't work that way. So it looks like he's going to just re-enchant the rabbit and give himself another look. So a good thought there, but not going to work in this case. And he revealed one of his face downs, right? Now Sausage knows, okay, one of those, but this is why Astrabit is so good. We saw, oh man, we saw DistantCoder win on this exact play. Astrabit pulling out Ambrosias from the deck. That's going to regenerate those spirits. And he's going to put himself in a 4 spirit situation with 2 on field. Sausage has 2 on field as well, but he's going to have a hard time hitting over that rabbit, especially with Titan having 2 other back row. Like, we know one of them is the Laurels now, but a Tsunami ends the game pretty much for Sausage. Titan's got to be feeling pretty good about his positioning here. Let's see. There's the draw from Sausage. Just 1 spirit remaining. His hopes of getting to the finals of the Elestrals Tournament ride on this play. Does he have an answer to get over this 2 spirit, 5 defense Astrabit? He needs another Ambrosia is what he really needs. Let's see it. Doing a quick count. 4 spirits left. Debating. Just not a lot of resources left if you're Sausage. When you're at this stage of the game, you do have some flexibility where you can utilize your spirits on field to cast. So you can use that Zeus spirit to cast a counter rune or an invoke rune. But outside of like an Ambrosia getting you some more life back, there's not a whole lot he can do. Like, he could potentially... The problem is the Sorlet's not even properly enchanted, so he doesn't even have the opportunity to change the position of the Astrabit. So I think if you're Sausage, you're probably just playing the wait game here, right? Like, I don't know if you want to push your board state at all. I don't know if you can push your board state at all. And even if Titan has something like a Tsunami, this game's over anyway, right? Because if you just turn that Sorlet to defense, Rabbit or anything else is going to hit over it. Sausage thinking about his place. He's got an Earth Spirit on his Sorlet. Wishing it was wind, I'm sure. But even then, again, would put him in a tough position to kind of use his last spirits to get rid of an Astrabit when you have 3 face down runes, right? So if you're Titan, you got to be feeling really good right now. You got to be feeling really good if you're Titan. Even though one of those is a Laurels, you got to be feeling pretty good. And even if your Rabbit goes down, you probably don't care, right? Because you have the Laurels. So on the following turn, you just pop the Sorlet, and then you attack for game. So If you're Titan, you gotta be feeling pretty good. Now, Sausage could use his Zeus to power up his Sorlet to hit over the rabbit. But again, if Titan has any sort of counterplay face down on 2 of those runes, he puts himself in a really good spot. There's a Thunder Spirit. This is going to be the last Spirit from Sausage. And I want to emphasize how much Spirit management matters, right? He's got 2 misenchanted Elestrals, so his Vysceris hits the field with a Thunder Spirit. He's going to disenchant off the Zeus to buff or debuff the Astrabbit. It all comes down to this. He's going to need to knock out this rabbit, and there's the Tsunami! And that might seal his fate right there. Sausage has only 2 spirits on field, nothing in his spirit deck. There's no Tsunami plays left. Titan just needs an Elestral that can attack, because the rabbit can hit over the Sorlet, and another Elestral can hit over the Vysceris. So let's see. He's reaching for a spirit here. He's thinking about it. That was a big Tsunami play. He's debating. Let's see it. Oh man, this is so close. I don't know if Sausage can pull this one back at all, guys, because Sausage has no way. He's gonna go for a Thunderstorm? He's gonna pull a spirit off the rabbit and go for a Thunderstorm. And he's gonna pop one of the runes. It's a Gorgon's Gaze. I'm gonna be really honest. I don't know why he played Thunderstorm there. He's got a Galaxy though. This could seal the deal. Astrabbit can take out the Sword. The Galaxy can take out the Vysceris. Is there any sort of play? He doesn't have the ability to play a Shield of Achilles. He can't play a Gorgon's Gaze. I think Titan's got this one. Let's see. Oh, man. He's got an Altar of Stars. It's not going to matter, though. He doesn't have enough spirits to do it. Oh, he does. He's going to use one spirit to play Altar of Stars and Nexus onto the Sorlet and keep the Sorlet alive in the same chain. But he has no way to hit over the... I'm curious what the play here is. You're doing that to put Galaxy into defense? To stop the attack? Oh, that was a really good play. Okay, it's not going to end up making a difference, it seems. So what happened was he actually altered his Sorlet into attack position, which forced the Astrabbit to hit the Sorlet. The Astrabbit gets destroyed because the Sorlet's stronger now that it's in attack position. It was beyond the point at which he could change his attack decision. It was in the attack step. So it was a really good play from SpicySausage, but he's left with no spirits at the end of that as the Galaxy crashes into the Sorlet and KOs, and Titan wins the game. There we go. Whew, got a little confused at the end there. But Titan is going to take that one and go to the finals. Titan versus DistantCoder, ladies and gentlemen, is our finals match. And we're in for a doozy. We're in for a doozy of a time. Let's get it, dude. Let's get it.
Can I plug?
Yeah, plug it, dude.
Yo, everyone, if you want to see, I'm in finals. I'm an Elestriad, like, absolute cook, bro. I'm going crazy in the Elestriad. I've started a channel with my boys. It's the Elestronauts over on YouTube. We're going to be posting my team's deck profiles from this tournament. We're probably going to be posting deck profiles from multiple people's tournament run. We're probably going to contact some of the top players and see if we can, you know, get in contact with them, learn about why they made certain choices and stuff like that. We're trying to be the hub for, like, where you find your competitive Elestrals content. You know what I'm saying?
Which I love,
So
man, because there's definitely some space for that right now. And
yeah,
I appreciate you guys.
Well, because the thing is, the reason why we started doing it is because we were literally playing like 2 hours every night. Like, we've been playing this game like 2 hours every night, and because of that, we're just like, do you guys want to, like, make a channel? Like, maybe other people want to see this too, you know? So we're like, run it. Why not?
Heck yeah, man. Super good stuff. All not sponsored.
Literally not sponsored. Literally not sponsored. I would legally have to tell you if it was.
Well, I certainly appreciate you both, and I'm very excited. If any of your two, it actually worked out that I really wanted to watch you and Mario, but it worked out that I got to kind of preview your match, Coder, in eight.
I'm so happy you didn't, man, because I was so exhausted after that game against Jack. That game drained me.
That was a crazy game. That was a crazy game.
Yeah,
so
I agree. I agree.
And don't forget, winner plays me, and I got some spice ready. So I hope you guys are.
Wait, tonight? Like literally right after this?
Oh yeah.
Oh damn. Okay.
Pegasus,
Let's do it. Let's cook.
I got some
okay,
set
Titans
2
got
cards,
you.
man. I got the set 2.
Titans got you beat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are for our finals in the Elestrals Webcam Tournament. DistantCoder throwing down against Titan. These two casters are throwing down for a Pantera uncut sheet and a chance to play against yours truly. Although that's not really the prize. It's just kind of a fun thing at the end. Coder gonna get this kicked off with a Rummagem in defense. That's exactly what he wants to see, right? This is gonna give him the opportunity to toolbox the rest of his deck. He can look into his deck and grab any piece of the puzzle he wants. Chances are it's gonna be a Vysceris, but let's see what he's gonna go for. It might be Equilynx if he has Demeter support, but either way, it's gonna be the Lynx. He's gonna go Stellar Equilynx. That thing's beautiful. I can tell you, Coder's been in my DMs all week trying to get me to trade mine. I happen to have 3 somehow of the 99. Coder, I think, has 3 of the 99 as well. Together, we have 6 of the 99 Stellar Equilynx. Actually, maybe he doesn't have 3. He might only have 2 right now. He's going to set 2 and pass. Titan is now ready to rock, and he gets his first play here. One of the things I love from Titan in that last round, I criticized it a little bit, but it worked out so well in his favor. His execution of Gorgon's Gaze and his Thunderstorm play. 2 cards that, again, I never really see people use Gorgons in a way that he did in going after those Astrabbits, and I really never see players go Thunderstorm right now in this metagame, but it proved to be incredibly useful for him, as now Coder's going to be forced to use a Poison-Tipped Arrow to slow down this Vysceris, and it works out perfectly. Poison-Tipped Arrow does drop the attack of Vysceris down to 3, which means that Rummagem gets to live another day in defense position. So, pretty powerful stuff here if you're DistantCoder. He almost certainly has that Equilynx in his hand with the Demeter, so he's going to have some rune control here. Titan going to set a rune face down. If that's his only one, that could be really good for Coder. Let's find out. If he does have that combo, that Wombo Nexus combo, he's going to Earthquake. He's going to say, no, thank you. I'm not giving you a chance to get any sort of advantage here. I'm Earthquaking your face in, and I'm going to keep you slowed down here. And he's going to be able to hit directly with the Vysceris if he wants to. I don't see why he wouldn't. And it's going to make this a little bit more of a punishing turn, right? It's going to make it a little bit more punishing for DistantCoder. And now we're probably going to see that Poison-Tipped Arrow come off for Coder here as he's going to expend to clear the Vysceris. So really good use of the Poison-Tipped Arrow. And now Coder's got an empty field of Elestrals to start to make some things happen here. This is, again, that opportunity for Equilynx to come out with the meter if he wants to use it. He has a play to potentially pop that face down rune. Titan with those Thunderstorms, he's going to want to hit those Demeters, I think, with that. Here comes that Equilynx. Does he have the Demeter to go after that face down rune, or is he just going to pop it? This is where Tsunami is so clutch if you're Titan, right? Tsunami gives you a position where you can sit there all day, but there's the Demeter. We knew it was coming. He's going to 3 with it, and that's going to get Coder down to just 12 spirits. He's going to have the opportunity to Nexus with Equilynx. If it is a Tsunami, this turns into a really good counterplay from Titan. If it's something like a Shield of Achilles, Coder is going to be feeling really good if he pops it with this Equilynx destruction. Equilynx can Nexus up to 2. He's probably only going to take 1 here, and then he's going to be able to target the face down rune. Let's find out. Here we go. What is the play going to be if you're DistantCoder? Let's find out. He's thinking about this Nexus play. He's thinking about what that face down can be. Again, because Tsunami can be chained here, it's a tough play. He's going to go for the 1. Generally, you only do 1 at a time. You're only going to go 2 at a time if you really feel like you can push. He's going to go for the 1. He's going to try to pop that face down rune. What is it going to be? I don't think it's Tsunami. He would have flipped it faster. It's a Pandora's Box. So Pandora's Box comes down, and now Equilynx is free to hit for 2. And that's the turn DistantCoder was looking for, right? Pandora's Box, a pretty irrelevant card, generally speaking. It's not going to do a ton for Titan there. You know what I mean? Like, you're usually not going to utilize that to kind of the fullest potential. But in this case, Coder going to get the advantage. He's got his Equilynx out there, but it comes down to what is Coder's face down rune, right? Because that face down rune is going to be what's going to protect this Equilynx if Titan has some offensive. Sorry, I have all sorts of spam protection in my chat, guys, from back in the day. So, you know, links don't work, but one of the mods could post it. Here comes a Earth Spirit and a Vysceris hits the field. This is why that back row protection is so important, because if Vysceris takes out this Equilynx, it's going to put Coder in a really bad spot. He has a rune though. It's the Tsunami himself. That was the card we were looking for before, and Titan has no back row, which means that if Coder can get a Vysceris of his own right now, this game could snowball real fast. He's counting his Spirit decks. I have him at 11. This game can turn around super duper fast if he has a Vysceris right now with no back row. That pressure that Equilynx could put onto that back row is so incredibly massive, especially in a moment like this. Coder also has the opportunity to flex that Equilynx Spirit back to the Demeter if he wants to save it for later. Instead of pushing forward with it, I think he's considering. Obviously, that attack was already utilized. Might be doing some hydration here. Coder thinking about his next play. This is going to be big. It's all going to depend on whether Coder has any sort of Elestrals to start to swarm this field. Especially if you get rid of that Vysceris right now. Here comes another Spirit. It's an Earth Spirit for Coder. Is it going to be a Tectorus? It's going to be the Tectorus. So Tectorus sitting there getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attack buff. So Tectorus is an 8 attack Elestral right now. He's going to Nexus onto the Tectorus. Nothing to pop. I'm a little surprised about that play, but fair enough. And the Equilynx is going to hit the Vysceris, and then the 2 from Tectorus are going to hit directly. And he's going to set a rune face down as well. A really, really good turn from DistantCoder, as he now has 5 spirits on field. He does set another back row. That's what he's looking for, those back row. So crucial to protect your Elestrals and give you that ability to play a little bit more aggressive, right? You can have all these spirits on field if you have a way to deal with your opponent. And knowing that Titan runs Thunderstorm, maybe that's why Coder wants those spirits off Demeter, right? Maybe that makes that Thunderstorm less impactful when that Demeter's only carrying 1 spirit, right? So I'm not going to question that. I think that makes a lot of sense actually in this situation. And now this Tectorus again sitting at 8 attack right now. Equilynx sitting at 4, a face down rune and a Demeter. Titan's going to need something big here to try to climb back in this one. He's staring down some big stuff. Coder only 1 card in hand though. He's burned a lot of his energy, a lot of his spirits, a lot of his board presence to push forward here. Here comes, looks like 2 spirits. This could be an Earthquake. It's going to be a Thunderstorm, so he is going to drop that Thunderstorm down. We've seen him use it very effectively. He's going to go for the face down rune. He pops an Earthquake himself. That was a bluff from Coder. That could prove to be very, very impactful for Titan here, as he's now going to be able to push forward with his Sorlet. Sorlet can actually take out the Tectorus or the Equilynx, whichever one he wants. He's going to change the position of the Tectorus, and he's going to be able to hit over it and knock it out. A good play overall by Titan, but Coder is still in the driver's seat here, right? He can use his Demeter to buff up the Equilynx and attack over the Sorlet, and that's a really easy play. So he's going to play the Foley Forest. That is exactly what he needs. Foley Forest is going to give him the buff. That's going to make Equilynx a 6 attacker because of the 2 spirits sitting on it. And Elechik can now search out a Divine. That's going to get him another Demeter. And this is the game plan that DistantCoder was looking to execute when he entered this tournament in the first place. A lot of casters forego the stadiums right now. We see a lot of these top decks not running any stadiums at all. When you're DistantCoder, you have all the freedom in the world to run Foley Forest, 2 or 3 copies. In this case, he actually has 3 copies of Foley Forest. And if he gets into the field, he has full stadium control the entire game, which means that each one of his Earth Elestrals is gaining +1 attack every single time they have a spirit on them. Here's a huge Nexus play. He's gonna Nexus 2 onto the Equilynx, or onto the Elechik rather. Elechik's gonna take out the Sorlet. The Equilynx hits directly. That's 2, 3, 4 spirits of damage going on to Titan here. And Titan down to just 4 spirits staring down double Demeter, Equilynx, and Elechik. Elechik does also get the boost from the Foley Forest, don't forget. So Elechik is sitting at 6 attack itself alongside the Equilynx, as both of these Elestrals are in a power position. Titan cannot set runes. He is at the mercy of that Equilynx right now, and he needs something to come back. A Vysceris gives him a 6 attacker that can maybe start to climb back. If you take out the Equilynx, you're taking a spirit. You're going to be worn down pretty heavily though. So Coder is looking to be in a really good spot here. There's going to be, it looks like he's grabbing a spirit. Titan looking to try to climb back in this one. What is the play? It's going to be a Astravid in defense with a water spirit. So maybe out of Thunder Spirits at this stage of the game. Maybe wasn't expecting to draw into that Astravid. Equilynx has the freedom now to Nexus. He's going to Nexus from the Elechik onto the Equilynx. That's going to pop another rune. Let's see here. He's keeping those Demeters up. That rune is about to go down. Let's see what he's going to do. He's got 2 Demeters, so he's debating. Do I go for game right now? He might have it. He's going to push. He has game if he pops that rune. He pops the Earthquake. Electric able to hit over the Astrabit. And Equilynx able to hit directly. That's game 1, ladies and gentlemen. DistantCoder piles it on with Nexus and Equilynx. He gets the combo right away. Titan has no response for it, and DistantCoder is up 1-0 in our best of 3 finals, ladies and gentlemen. A dominant performance from DistantCoder. Wow. Executing Earth Beaters to its fullest potential right there. I love that. Turn 1, Rummagem gets him his Equilynx. He had the Demeter in hand. He knew exactly what he was trying to do. He got the Demeter out there. He protected the Demeter with Tsunami, keeping it on the field so it can do what it needed to do, and then he utilized his Stadium to buff his Electric and his Demeter, and his Equilynx to become such a big threat that Titan couldn't keep up. And you saw what Distant did there, right? He used that Nexus to push Spirits onto the field as fast as possible. He got him onto the field with the Demeter, and then he put them onto his Elestrals very quickly with the Nexus feature, and that gave him an opportunity to start hitting for 2 damage, then 3 damage, and all of a sudden he's barraging him, Titan, with 3, 4, 5, 6 Spirits in a turn, and that's just too much to deal with when your back row is decimated because you've got this Equilynx, right? My analysis of Frost is that there's one overarching deck type you can run with Frost that I think is going to be the main thing people are going to explore. There's a specific archetype that comes within Frost that'll be very clear what it is, right? But I think that there's some room to play around in Frost and do some really cool things. So all I'm saying is you just got to have more Frost. As long as there's more Frost, you're going to be doing good. Titan opens up this clash, our game 2 of the finals with an Astrabit. Astrabit into defense. That's going to allow him to look at the top 3, grab a card. This is a really good position to be in if you're Titan. You kind of got, you know, blown back a little bit. You got blown back a little bit. Oh, did they both mulligan? I guess they both mulliganed. I'll start that off as well. I was all distracted talking about Frostfall and how we just need more Frost in the game. So there we go. So they both mulligan, which means they can start their turn off with a new hand. And now Astrabit gives him another card. Titan's got to be feeling a lot better about this one. But don't forget, Coder's running a lot of removal. We got 3 Earthquakes. We've got a ton of stuff here. So he's not out of the woods yet. I think if you're Coder, you're looking to try to pull that same Equilynx combo, right? And I think Equilynx is the most devastating in the mid game when you've kind of exhausted some of those options. And we might see a Mirror Astrabit here or an Electric. It's going to be a Mirror Astrabit. So will Titan respond with the Gorgon's Gaze again? We've seen him do it twice now. I think he's going to let this one go through. Which I think is a good choice, right? Again, I think that you just let it go through. I've never Gorgon's Gaze an Astrabit myself, but it's worked for him. Listen, he's a heck of a better player than I am, that's for sure. So how can I question these great decisions? That Thunderstorm has been really cool to see. I would love to see more Thunderstorm play come into the game. I think that that'd be a really fun card for people to utilize, especially as Divine Runes see a little bit more usefulness and there's opportunities to do that. But it is going to be the Earthquake from DistantCoder. He's going to get rid of that Astrabit right away. I don't know if he pulled it from the look or if he had it already. Could have been an opportunity to maybe attack with the Astrabit, but he's going to keep it in defense position. And he's going to hit for a couple Spirits there. And now Titan is going to be drawing for his turn as Coder's got 2 runes face down. And he's probably going to pass. And here we go. Drawing for turn here. Titan looking to make some waves, thinking about his options. Looking at the Spirits that he's lost so far. Debating. Looking at his Underworld. Coder counting it up a little bit. And Titan looking to make a splash. A couple tools in Titan's deck that allows him to hit over the Astrabit. Those 2 face down runes, probably a little daunting. Here comes an Astrabit play of his own. He's going to throw it back down. Astrabit just gives you such a huge card advantage at the early stage of the game as these players look for the cards that they need to execute the strategies they're looking to do. Coder is saying pause. Is he thinking about doing something here? Does he have a Gorgon's Gaze? He's thinking about it. Could be a tactic to bluff that he has a Gorgon's Gaze as well. When you're in a position like this, you say, wait a minute, hold on, I'm thinking. That could mean a number of different things, right? It could mean that you have a Gorgon's Gaze. It could mean you have a poison-tipped arrow. Is he going to let him do the look? He's thinking. I didn't see the look take place yet. He's going to let him do it. So he thought hard. He thought long and hard about it. And he said, you know what? Use your aDrive's effect. Use it. Just use it. And he is going to be able to grab the card he wants. So there you go. Titan shuffling up his deck, adding to his hand here. Both casters with defensive plays. Obviously, DistantCoder was able to remove the aDrive last turn with the Earthquake. You really don't want to keep doing that, right? If you're Coder at this point, you're probably looking for another way to get over the aDrive, right? Something like a fully forest Vysceris. That's an ideal scenario because you really don't want to be using your Earthquakes every time on aDrive. When I play, I tend to try to keep my Earthquakes for those moments when I absolutely need them, whether I can make a big push or something of the sorts. Titan actually going with the Ambrosia, early game Ambrosia. He's going to grab, looks like he wanted some different spirits here. So he's going to go +2 on his spirits. Maybe he wanted those Thunder. He burns a water for this. Generally, you don't see early game Ambrosia plays, but he might think that the fear of Equilynx is too high. So he doesn't want to lose his Ambrosia. And it looks like it's going to be Coder's turn now. And he's digging into his spirit deck to think about what his next play is going to be. He's got a spirit in hand. It's going to be a Thunder Spirit. Is it another aDrive or is it an Elechick? It's going to be another aDrive this turn. So we've seen 4 aDrives in the first 2 turns of the game. And I'll be honest, I don't think either caster is upset about it, right? Like, having this freedom to get into your deck and get the pieces that you need to execute your best strategy, I think just makes for better gameplay. It starts off a little slow, right? And these casters are both going to be in a situation where they have to now deal with these 5 defense rabbits that should totally not have 5 defense. Whoever made this game made a mistake on that one. That's me. I'm the problem. And that's going to probably wrap up Coder's turn. Hey, what's up, Keith? And there's a Nectar of the Gods play from Titan. Throwing down 2 spirits to draw 2 more cards. I want to call this out. I find this to be pretty interesting. Nectar of the Gods, a sideboard option from Titan. So opting to bring Nectar of the Gods into the deck, whereas he previously didn't have it in the first round of the best of 3. So maybe he felt that his game plan was a little slow. Maybe he felt that he needed a few other cards. The Exaltair nerf? No, the Exaltair nerf was one of the best decisions I ever made in hindsight. I always say that I wanted Exaltair. I thought Exaltair should have had 4 attack. We made it 3 attack. But as someone who's obviously creating and building the future sets and testing them, if Exaltair had 4 attack in set 3, it would be one of the strongest cards in the game. At 3 attack, it's very, very good. I think we're going to keep it there. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to errata it now, but the Exaltair nerf was, it turned out to be very smart in the future because, like I said, if Exaltair had 4 attack right now, it would be, and again, looking ahead at future sets, it would be way strong, dude. It would be way strong. It's very good at 3 attack right now. We're going to see the double enchant on the rabbit and the Earthquake to pop a rabbit, and there's the Gorgon's Gaze. So DistantCoder going for the Gorgon's Gaze. I don't know, guys. Maybe I missed the memo about Gorgons on aDrive. I feel like I got to relearn the game because here I am. This is like the 3rd or 4th time I've seen an aDrive get Gorgon's Gazed, and we've only been streaming for a couple hours. I have never used that play in my life. But again, these guys know what they're doing. There's an Ambrosia. So that's going to be another +2. Onto his Spirit deck, Titan regenning spirits. This game is looking like it's going to be very interesting as these casters get down to the wire here because we're already seeing them vying for their positioning. And if you're on Titan's end, you got to be feeling pretty good, right? You just got rid of a Gorgon's Gaze. You're ahead on spirits. Your Ambrosias have been super clutch. You got an aDrive defensively sitting there. If you're Coder, you're probably fishing for your combo, right? You're looking for your Demeter plus an Elestral. You're looking for your Forest plus an Elestral. Here comes the Elestral. It's Equilynx. But does he have the Nexus piece to go with it? There is a poison-tipped arrow. Now, this is one of the rules changes we made recently, where poison-tipped arrow gets a little bit of a buff here, right? And the reason being is it used to be that you can Nexus off of Equilynx right now to pop a rune and basically avoid the PTA because you're kind of getting rid of it yourself. He's not going to have that same flexibility, though, but he does have Demeter. So that poison-tipped arrow proven to be a really good play because now he's going to be able to essentially, well, Coder still can do some work right now, right? Coder can use one of these, go to the Astrava instead. He can pop the face down rune, which is going to be a Shield of Achilles. And then he can use a Demeter to buff his Equilynx up to 6 attack. No, he can't do that. Just kidding. He would be 5 attack. So he's not going to be able to hit over. So the PTA is not going to be able to, the PTA is going to be able to stop the Equilynx and the Astrabit from hitting over the Astrabit. So let's see if there's going to be any more play here. PTA oftentimes is looked at as a removal tool, right? It's a card that can essentially remove an Elestral by the end phase. But that 2 attack drop is pretty clutch, right? Like it's a way that you can kind of add a little bit more sustain and remove Elestral. So it's kind of a two-part process here. And if you're Coder, you probably don't want to lose your Equilynx, but he might be making a big board push here. He's going to pull a Spirit off of the Rabbit now. Might be an Earthquake play. It's going to be the Earthquake play. Earthquake going to take him out. Astrabit's going to turn into attack position. Equilynx and Astrabit are going to hit for 2, it seems. And then I think the PTA will take out the Equilynx. So I did my best to keep track of spirits on this one. I think Coder's at 7, but 3 on board, and Titan's at 11. Those 2 Ambrosias really keeping Titan like super in this right now. He would be way less spirits and in a much worse spot. But here's the thing. Titan is 1 offensive play away from turning this around, right? Like a Vysceris here could be so scary. Looks like he's going fire, though. It looks like it's going to be a Necruff. And if you're DistantCoder, you are really hoping you have a Tsunami. Tsunami is the card you want to have face down right now. Does he have it? He has a Gorgon's Gaze, so he's going to stop the attack. Good play on Coder's end. And this is what I can consider to be the turning point of the match for DistantCoder to really have a chance to run with this one. If he can pull out a Tectorus, a Vysceris would probably be the best thing. If he could pull out an Elestral here that can hit over this Necruff, he could put himself in a really good spot, especially if it's a Vysceris. Let's find out what it's going to be. No back row for Titan. It's going to be a Thunder Spirit. It's going to be an Elechick. That'll do it. That gets him where he needs to go. He's going to be able to hit over this Necruff and search his deck for another Demeter. That full art Demeter going to go right into his hand. And he can use one of the spirits off his Demeter to buff his Elechick, which now can attack over the Necruff. He's going to set a back row. He's going to knock out the Necruff. He's going to hit for 1 against Titan. But DistantCoder down to just 4 spirits, 3 on field. That puts him at 7. Titan, 3 cards in hand, about to draw for his 4th. Plenty of options for Titan. Again, if you're DistantCoder, it all comes down to what that back row is. He's so far been able to slow down the offensive onslaught that Titan can bring with those Necruffs, with those Galaxies, with those various 5 attackers, Vysceris, etc. So if you're Titan, you're looking for one of those. You're looking for a 5 attacker that can get rid of that Astrabit or the Elechick, whichever you prefer. But you're also looking for back row, right? Because you might be able to deal a KO here, but you got to be able to take something back. And he has the Spark It. I don't know if he's going to be able to Nexus here, though. Does he have Zeus as well? He did set a card face down. Seems like he's just going to go for the attack into the Rabbit. Is there a counterplay here from Coder? He is going to let the Rabbit go down. Okay, so Spark It hits the field. And now Coder's going to draw. I believe the Spark It was a sideboard option for Titan, like the Nectar of the Gods. So it seemed that he switched a lot of things up. Here comes an Earth Spirit and then Ambrosia. Big plays from Coder. That's going to get him 2 more spirits here. These Ambrosias have proven to be so clutch in this final match and in the tournament in general. I think You know, I can tell you that I've kind of strayed away from playing Ambrosia a ton lately. I'll generally run 1, maybe 2. I think for a long time, people thought Ambrosia was a 3 of. I know some people don't even run it at all. I think Jack, one of our semifinals, was only running 1. You know, it's a card that, you know, you either kind of run or you don't, but it's been very crucial for these casters as they get into the late turns. Here comes a Water Spirit and another Elechick. This is a misenchanted Elechick. And Coder is going to use his Demeter to buff. He's going to take out the Sparkit. What's the back row, though? The Water Spirit is big because this means that Tsunami does not stop the Elechick. Which means that Sparkit probably gets KO'd here. Titan's thinking about it. He's going to Gorgon's Gaze. He's going to Gorgon's Gaze the Elechick and shut it down. Which means that the other Elechick can crash if he wants. I would assume he's going to go for the crash, and he is. So both Sparkit and Elechick go down. The Water Enchanted Elechick remains. And let's see what we got here. 5 spirits, 7 spirits. That seems to be where we're at. There's a face down rune for Coder. And Titan is looking to make a push here. His hopes and dreams of this tournament are on the line. He's going to set a rune face down. He's got another Sparkit. He's got another Sparkit. At this stage of the game, Sparkit's effect is way less impactful, right? I know a lot of people have complaints about Sparkit in the metagame right now, but it's really only a problem in the early game, right? When you don't have the opportunity to respond. There's a Water Enchanted Sparkit as well. And he's going to go for the crash, so both Elestrals going down. This has been a series of trading. We started off this clash with a lot of defensive play with Astrabbits. Then it kind of evolved into Demeter helping out. Some good counter play. And Coder's got another Thunder Spirit. It's going to be another Elechick. That's going to give him the freedom to look for another Demeter if he wants it. Thinking about some counterplay. Is this the Pandora's Box? It is the Pandora's Box. Pandora's Box going to prevent the Elechick from searching at the cost of 2 spirits, and he's going to mill a Poison-Tipped Arrow and a Vysceris. Pandora's Box, a card that can be so good against wind, but generally is not used too much. If you're Titan, I find it to be an interesting play. I get it. You stop the search. He's got a Necruff, so that might make a lot of sense there. Necruff, it seems to be misenchanted. Yeah, misenchanted with Thunder. And he takes out the Elechick. That's very unfortunate he did not have a Fire Spirit. DistantCoder still has 4 spirits left. No face down runes. Vysceris pretty much wins the game. Here comes an Earth Spirit. It's an Equilynx. Does he have any runes? The Pandora's Box was huge last turn, but he has the Demeter face down. Demeter gonna be able to buff up the Equilynx and allow him to hit over the Necruff. I believe Coder's down to just 1 spirit left with Equilynx and Demeter. Here we go. Titan with 2 spirits left, maybe 1. And it's going to come down to, does he have an answer? We know he has a lot of 5 attackers. If he's able to take out this Equilynx here, he may just win the game. He only has 1 spirit left. It's going to be a Vysceris misenchanted. Does Coder have a response? No, Equilynx goes down. They're a crash. Coder has 1 spirit left. It's Rummagem, and Rummagem seals the deal and wins the game. DistantCoder is your champion. He wins it with Rummagem taking Titan's last spirit. That's a 0-0 game, ladies and gentlemen. DistantCoder is your champion. Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds really cracked.
Yeah.
That actually sounds really cracked.
Yeah.
GG's, you guys.
Bro, that was not easy, man. That was not an easy run.
Jeez. Congratulations,
No, I gotta
DistantCoder.
play you, bro.
Yeah, you want to play? We could
Thanks,
just play
man.
1 instead of a best of 3. You just want to play 1?
I don't mind, bro. Wait, what am I winning if I cook you, bro? What's up?
Nothing. You just, it's the fun.
You could win a pair of
Whoa,
scissors.
no, dude, I
win a
want
pair of scissors, cut up the Pantera sheet, and send them out to the entries. To all the entries.
Yeah, we can play. I'm down to play. I'm
All right. Let me get it all set up here.
But GG's Titan, bro. That was
GG.
a good game. That was genuinely a really good game.
All right.
All right, Dan, you ready? Whoa, that mat is kind of clean. That is kind of clean. No cap.
All right, dude. Let's have some fun, man.
Yeah, let's run it, dude. All right, you want to do 2 die high roll?
Yeah, I only have a D20, so
I only have a spin down. How do you feel about that?
it's a spin down too. Yeah.
Oh, you're not supposed to roll these, man.
Listen. We're gonna do it anyway. Let's do it.
All right, we're gonna do it anyway.
3.
I rolled a 7.
3.
I will opt to go first. Are you
Alright.
playing a frost deck? Is that what's about to happen, dude?
Can you imagine?
Like, are you gonna reveal a bunch of cards live? By just sorry.
I mean, maybe. You never know. All right, let's
Hell
get
yeah.
it.
I will keep this.
Yeah, me too. I don't mulligan. Never.
You
mulligan.
don't mulligan?
Nah, dude, never mulligan, bro.
It feels actually really good to mulligan, like pretty often.
No
I'm
rum
gonna run
again,
out
bro.
a little rum again.
Yeah, that's not allowed.
It is, bro. I love Rumajam. Dude, the things you've taken from us Earth players, dude, that used to be a 4-4. I was so ready.
That would be busted as a 4-4, and you know it though.
Yeah, but I'm down. It's my deck. Like, give me some Earth buffs, dude.
All right, Equilynx, okay.
Yeah, the Stellar, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I see it. I got 3.
Yeah.
I'll
I
show
know,
them to
you
you
should
after
only
the
have
game.
2. You should get me the third.
I'll show them to you after the game.
Don't do this to me, bro. I'll set and I'll pass.
All right, draw.
I'm turning my brain off. I'm just putting cards on the field. If I lose, like, just know I'm not taking time to think.
I'm setting 2,
Yeah, that's fine.
and I'll go Wind Spirit, Sorlet.
Yeah, that is a soaring boy.
I'll attack.
Thinking.
Oh, my wife just subscribed for 100 months. Thanks, Danny.
Yo, shout out to the wife. How do I feel about this outcome?
I don't know, man.
That's fine.
Just gonna let it go, okay? All you.
Rest in peace, Rum again. I'll draw.
Yep.
I will move to the main. I will run out a Chicky. I don't know how you feel about Chicky. I like Chicky effect.
Yeah, I'm gonna counter that.
Okay. Pandora's. Ooh.
I'll just Gorgons.
That's completely okay. Yeah. That is completely acceptable. I'll EQ. Knock out the pig. Phew.
All right, well, I feel better about my Gorgons play then.
I will pass turn.
Okay, draw. Nice.
Man said nice. You have 4 in hand?
Yeah.
I got 3. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna Wind.
Pigas.
Sorlet again.
Oh, another piggy. Okay, sure.
And attack.
Thinking. How do I feel about this? Sure.
Okay. Pass.
Draw. Main. Okay. Now I get super duper hella punished. You ready? Vysceris.
Oof.
I'll go combat. I'm gonna get punished. Show me
Yes,
what you got.
are. Battle step.
Gorgons, yeah?
Yep.
Damn, he's nice with it. He is so nice with it.
Call out
Yeah.
the Hollow Gorgons.
Go ahead,
there.
buddy.
Just for those
Hey, yo,
watching.
can I have one of those?
Just for those watching, I just want to call that out. Vysceris has 4 attack. Its effect gets to 5. So when you Gorgons gaze in the battle step, the attack is already going to be going through, but you can shut off Vysceris' passive effect and drop its attack back to 4. You shut it off essentially, and then the Sorlet would KO it.
That is exactly
Set a
what
rune.
he said, yeah.
I'm actually going to expend to draw.
Okay, sure. That's fine.
I'll set a second rune.
Yeah, that is a Hollow Gorgon's Gaze, bro. Yo, if I win, do I get one of those?
Yeah, maybe. I only have 1.
Oh, come on, man.
I'll attack for 1.
I'll take 1. Yeah, that's fine. What's the worst that's gonna happen, eh?
Piggies can fly, dude.
That one can. It soars, definitely. My go?
Yeah.
Surely you wouldn't have a third Gorgon's
I mean, I'm
Gaze, right?
putting all my Gorgons out.
Right. This.
Vysceris. I'm definitely gonna
Tip.
respond. Let me think.
Tip. PTA.
Yeah, I'm gonna PTA.
PTA. Yeah, that's fine.
Dropped it.
So we've established in my testing circle that 99% of games are determined by who has resolved the most counter runes. So we've been doing, yo, is that a foil PTA? Hello?
Bruh.
Yeah, we've established after every game, what we do is we check who has resolved the most counter runes, and typically that person has won the game. I'm going to move to my end phase. Do you want to kill it?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, go ahead.
Draw.
Yeah.
Set a card.
I have resolved
I'm
a
gonna
grand total of 0 counter runes. Expend a draw again? Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna expend the draw again.
Yeah, run it. Set more counter runes. Do it.
And then I'm gonna do this. I'll just attack for one.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, you're up.
Draw
I'm just
one,
expending the
expend
draw to find more hollow cards to show off.
Hell yeah, that's true.
That's it,
Draw
dude.
for turn. That's the play, man. That's the play. That's what I'm saying. It's a little frustrating. I have 2 Vis in the grave.
Wait, how many cards in hand?
4.
Ooh, okay. One's Equilynx.
I'll go Rum again. Fuck.
No response.
Awesome. I'll add I'll get another Vis, even though the other 2 are in the grave.
Oof.
It's still a
He's back.
beater, you know what I'm saying?
It's not stellar though, man.
Bro, it's on the way. Come on now. It's in the mail.
Here, I'll just let you borrow this one.
Yo, sure.
Wait, no, I got a better one. I'll let you borrow this one.
You can't talk smack, bro. Come on now. They're right there. You know how long I've been chasing these cards. I will set an additional back row, and I'll pass to you.
Okay. Draw.
Yeah.
Man. All right. I'm going to expend the draw.
Yeah. Where are your Elestrals, bro?
Dude, I don't know where they are, man. I forgot to shuffle. All right, I'm gonna play.
That means there's 3 PTAs back there, 3 Gorgons, all that stuff.
I'm gonna play an Ambrosia.
Yo. Yeah. Hey, can you show that foil on that Ambrosia? That looks different than the,
What do you
the
mean?
one I have, bro.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It looks shinier. I don't know
I
what's
don't know
going
what
on.
I'm talking
What's going on there, bro? It looks hella shiny, man. I don't know.
about. All right, I got 11. 1, 2.
Wait, is that a stellar Ambrosia? Is that what I'm watching?
I don't know. What's your
Is that what I'm
count?
witnessing?
I'm doing
My
bad at
spirit
keeping
count?
track of spirits, so let me just
1,
check.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, so I had you at 12. Okay, that's fine.
Bro, Dan, you are actively assaulting my wallet. I don't appreciate this.
All right. I'm going to.
I'm pretty sure that Ambrosia is not a divine rune.
Let me think about this. Yeah, you're right.
Just want to leave it in the light a little bit
Good
more.
point.
You know?
Yeah, I was just giving people a chance to look at it. You know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna set, and I'm going to attack with my Sorlet into your Rummagem.
I'm definitely gonna shield this.
Now you shield.
Yeah, this feels more correct. I'll do a Zaptor and a Paralysis.
Okay, and pass.
All right.
I have an Elestral in hand now.
Damn, that's crazy.
Took me long
I
enough.
do too. I also have Elestrals in my hand. I'll run out the links that is equal.
Okay, I'm going to.
PTA me, do it. Do it.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, do it.
PTA.
Yeah, that's fine. Turn this to attack.
Okay.
I will set a back row, and I'll attempt to enter combat, and I'll swing with the Rummagem first.
Yeah, I'll take both hits, and then I'll take one for the.
Yep.
One for the
Expend to
PTA.
kill the Stellar Lynx.
Yep.
Do you want to tell me what your spirit counts after this resolves?
I have 9. I don't know where my math was, but I have 9. Wait,
You
did
have
I?
9?
No, I didn't expend those last 2. I did the one for the
Yeah,
PTA,
you have to-
and then I got to do those 2.
You have to get damage. So that should
So I
put
should
you on
have 7.
7,
Yeah.
and I have 8. Cool. You're good to go.
Yeah, let me just fix that.
Rumagem and a dream, bro. The tank. He's crazy. He's built
Just make sure I
different.
did that right. I had that one. I did that for the PTA, and then I took 2. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
All right, draw.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go
Piggy. Show it to Piggy.
Piggy. I can't draw anything else, so it's just piggies.
Piggy.
I'm gonna set a rune, and I'm gonna attack.
You have 2 in hand, yeah?
No, 4.
4 in hand.
Yeah, I
You've been
basically
drawing like
expend the draw
crazy.
this whole game. All right.
I'm gonna tsunami that.
Okay. And I will pass.
I will draw. I will move to the main. I'll run out of this.
Okay.
I'll set a back row. I'll turn this to attack.
Okay.
I'll go combat. I'll attempt to. The pig is 1 defense, right? Or is it 2?
Yeah, 1.
1. I'll run my gem over.
All right, I'm going to tsunami.
That's fine, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna draw an Elestral.
I believe in you.
Oh
You
my
got
God.
this.
What is an Elestral, dude?
I don't know, bro. You tell me. You made the game, not me.
Man, I'm really low on spirits here.
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna
you got 5?
set a rune. Yeah, I think I have 5.
Yeah, I got 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. That's slim pickings at this stage.
Love that, dude.
Okay. Sorlet to attack position.
Whoa,
and
calm down. What?
I'm gonna attack the Vysceris.
I'm definitely going to tsunami this.
Oh, again.
Yeah, bro. Like I told you, counter runes, man. I'm
Okay.
starting to resolve them now. That's how we shift the pace.
Yeah, all you, man.
My go. Main.
Me drawing 2 Sorlets the whole game has been very difficult.
I'll go chicky effect.
Yep. No response.
Cool. Love that. I like the leader.
And you have 4 spirits?
4. And you have 5?
Yeah.
We Gucci. Feeling good. You wanna show me your other tsunami, bro? 'Cause I know you got it.
Maybe.
God knows you got another tsunami back there. I'll move to combat.
Yep.
I'll attempt to Rumagem over.
I'll take that hit.
Chicky.
I'll take the 2.
Sure. So chicken Vysceris, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I made a misplay, but that's all right. All
It's
right,
okay.
I'll
That's
draw.
how we learn and improve, is with misplays.
All right, here we go. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The stones. The stones. He's got the nuts. Resting to kill what? Oh, what are you killing?
Vysceris and Equilynx. It's game though. I don't have an
Oh.
Elestral, so you win.
You
I
don't
guess,
have an
I guess I can
Elestral?
expend. I can expend for an Ambrosia. Let me do that.
You have 2 spirits left?
No, only 1.
Only 1?
I'll expend the draw. I lose. GG's.
GG's, man.
Bro,
Hell yeah.
I didn't draw any other Elestrals besides those 2 Sorlets. That was rough.
It's crazy because early on, I was just drawing Elestrals, pretty much.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, my hand was like 1 counter rune, Elestral. I'm just like, man. That's why I didn't fire the. I didn't fire
You said
the.
about resolving more counter rules, meaning equaling victory.
How many counter runes did you resolve, Dan?
Oh, I can check in a second. It was a lot though.
1, 2.
And I had
3.
2 shields face down, and so I'll tell you what the misplay I made was. I held my Island of Aeolia in my hand. I had 2, and I had an
yeah.
Altar of Stars too, and there was a really good opportunity there for me to Nexus and change Sorlet into attack position on,
Oh,
on
you're
one
on
of those attacks.
Win Nexus. I see.
Yeah, so that was a big window that I missed.
I see that. Okay, that's super fair.
So I'll tell you how many runes I played. Let me see.
I resolved 3, but I think the ones I resolved were probably at more opportune moments because I really held that shield until it was absolutely necessary to drop
I did
it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 counters is what I played.
Yeah, I resolved 3. Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, that's specifically what someone's pointing out in chat is like if you're just dead drawing runes, then it won't help. Well, good games, Dan.
GG. Do you want to call it there?
Bro, I'm Elestral down. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's all
I'm
good,
a
man. I
Elestral
figured
now.
as much. That's why I figured I'd give you the reins.
Oh,
I
God.
won't reveal my very special card, but we can save it for another time, man.
Ooh, reveal the special card. What do you mean?
Well, now
I'm sure
I
the
can't.
chat
now
wants
I
to see
can't.
it.
We'll have to save it for the. You
I'm
know,
sure
next
the
event.
chat wants to see the very special card, bro.
I was on the fence about sharing it anyway. So hey, listen, you guys saw many hollows and other good things. So I think it's okay.
Yeah, I'm Elestral out, man. I'm so tired. Like, this has drained me, man.
Tournaments always do, man. All right, listen. Congratulations to DistantCoder
Thanks, man.
for winning the Elestrals Webcam Tournament. I'm glad to have you here, and I'm glad you got to beat my face in here at the end as well. I'm gonna get you that Pentair uncut sheet. And
Let's
just,
go.
On a side note, just a genuine thank you for getting involved and playing today and showing people that Spark It isn't the only option.
Oh, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The only card today to have actually made me say out loud, "That's some bull," was specifically Spark It.
I know, man. Listen, I'll tell you guys, we are testing set 3 right now. There is a card in set 3 that completely makes Spark It very sad. So there's nothing to worry about. It'll come in time. No, but I think when set 2 drops and more cards are added to the card pool, the impact of a card like Spark It I think is going to be a lot less when people are just running more variety and stuff. And there's a specific card in set 2 that really can punish Spark It and Zeus and things like that. So there's some cool stuff coming. So nothing to stress too much about.
Love that.
All right,
All
that's
right,
it for me.
man.
I'm gonna
Well,
bounce out of here.
GGs.
You guys have a good day. Congratulations again, man, and we'll talk soon.
Have a good one, Dan. Bye, chat.
See ya. Big shout out to DistantCoder for taking the W today, and of course taking it at the end here. All right. I'll show you. I'll find it real quick. I built this blinged out deck for y'all. I tried to show off all the fun stuff. I'll give you guys a little sneaky peeky, you know, a little sneaky peek. I'll slide it up here. We'll just kind of slide it up a little bit. Just a little quick whoop. Just a quick whoop. Anyone see it? If I do one of these, a little whoop. Is that just mean if I do that? Is that just mean? Is that just mean if I just do that? Is that just mean? That might just be mean. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and catching the end of the Elestrals Tournament. I love y'all. You guys have been incredible. I appreciate y'all. Congratulations again to DistantCoder. I'm going to go get with my family and hang out with them and take care of the kids, you know what I mean? So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much. I appreciate y'all. This is just the beginning. I'll see you soon.